why the hell is this showing? Yeah, guys, yo, guys, it's the kid. We're here, guys. Quick public service announcement. If you have not watched this movie, we are about to spoil it. This is your final warning. Everything we will now say beforehand is going to spoil the living heck out of this film. So I repeat, please, I repeat, we are going to spoil the heck out of this film. So if you have not seen this film, please do not watch this thing right now. So I want to just first go around the room and just get people's general thoughts on the film. And then we can maybe go into specifics with regards to Tom Holland, Garfield, and so forth. But I just want to just go around the room and get specific, because this is what I'll say about this film. This is not a good film. As a film, this is not a good film. Like, what I would call this film is vibes. This might be the ultimate moments merchants movie. Like, the closest thing to this in terms of being a moments merchant was Endgame. So because bro, like, obviously, because I want to now hear people's reactions through the cinema and so forth, because I want to talk about Tom Holland, talk about the trilogy, talk about what your boy Garfield did to Tom Holland and so forth in that freaking movie. Because I watched Amazing Spider-Man again like yesterday. Let's talk. So general thoughts about this whole thing is this. Because this is the key thing here. You remove Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire from this film. Okay, I'll admit, Green Goblin, like Willem Dafoe said, "What's up?" But if you remove Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire from this film is trash. See, nobody's gonna say that. You remove Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield from this film is trash. This film is trash. But the best part of the film were those three guys there. Like, which is why I said something that even if I know that this is not a good film, just the novelty of seeing that and just seeing how they operated and how they work together, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. So for me, it was the best way to describe it is that it was a theme park ride. That's the best way to describe it was a theme park ride. Barry, man, general thoughts on the film, man.
I enjoyed it a lot. Obviously it's not a great film in its sense, but I enjoyed it a lot because it's more entertainment and everything.
Yes.
MCU are not special film.
They don't make films apart from the Captain America films.
Yeah, that was well written. But the rest, like Endgame, Infinity War, even the other films, it's not a great film, but it's very enjoyable. It's very fun to watch overall. So that's my perception on the movie.
Gatlock, because you watched it recently. Talk to me. Your thoughts on the film?
Well, given the fact that I watched this like a week late, whatever moments merchant was in this movie, I kind of already knew about it, pretty much. So it was cool, but it was meh for me because I already got spoiled like in a few of this stuff. But there's still a lot of moments that actually, caught my eye. This movie it reminded me of Endgame, where you gotta watch the other movies for you to feel it mostly. Like, for example, my sister watched it with me, but like she had not watched any of the other Spider-Man except for maybe Amazing Spider-Man 2. So she didn't really know Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and so on. So she didn't really know any of them. So if you don't know many of those guys, you might not really understand some of the points in that movie. Overall,
this film can't work on a standalone. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's not standalone.
You have to actually watch all, what's it called, 8 films before watching this.
To be fair, okay, well, to be fair, you don't need to watch Homecoming to understand this one. I mean,
no, okay, but you specifically have to watch all of Maguire and Garfield's films.
True. Yeah. To understand the villains, yeah, you need to watch them. So, still, man. Yeah, no, it was a quality movie. I feel we're going to get into more nits and grits of this stuff, but overall, I enjoyed it, man.
Why scare?
First of all, I'm happy to make my debut on on the
This channel is all vibes. This channel is all
Oh yeah,
vibes.
that's true. Even me too, man.
Hey.
No, man. I listen. I enjoyed the heck out of this film because it was just purely because it was just a nostalgic joyride, like from start to the end. Like again, like Gatlock said, you really grasp like everything that goes on in that film in terms of the whole nostalgia aspect. If you just watch from the first Tobey Maguire film all the way to the what is it throughout the Amazing Spider-Man series, and then to Tom Holland's two films. So, and then obviously it helps if you watch the Marvel films in the MCU films in between as well. So this was just just to be in the movies, just hearing the reactions of people to some of the stuff that was going on.
No, seriously. I knew girls could get I knew girls could get loud because you see, for me, you're too young to remember Titanic. I watched Titanic in the cinema. Bro, when girls are into a film,
bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah. See, the reactions were just crazy.
And yo, YSK, when did you watch it?
Watch what?
The movie.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
On the 17th.
Weird.
That's like 2 days after. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I was spoiled. I was spoiled a few bits because apparently Marvel don't deal with the videos on YouTube anymore. They only deal with other stuff.
Wait. Because I thought that was cap. Did they actually upload a 4K version of the film on YouTube?
Wait, what?
I think they did. I saw some clean copies. I saw some clean copies on YouTube.
Yeah, there was clips. There was clips on there, which was so weird because they should be dealing with that. But
wow.
Listen, I mean, even if they didn't spoil it, it was pretty much guaranteed that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield was going to be in that film, because there was only so much they can hold back.
No, but do you know what gave it away? Because everything was happening, but do you know what gave it away? I don't know whether you saw. I think maybe you saw it. Because I think I shared it. You know the second trailer that came out. And you know the shots where you see Spider-Man jumping and you see all the villains coming through.
Oh yeah.
Of course, then you see
they messed up.
It's like
Lizard go punch.
You get hit by nothing.
How does oxygen punch someone?
They messed up. They messed up major.
My thing though, because see, on the Brazil version, they shouldn't get punched. On the version that we saw, they did the cut. But even if you do the cut, like he's facing nothing. So my thing is that if you're an editor, why even release that scene? Because people are not that stupid. So, but yeah.
But no, it was again. I didn't go into this film thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna watch a great film," because Marvel and the MCU in general, you just don't. I mean, look what they've done to Venom. You know, they've ruined that character completely.
I've still not watched part 2 of that movie.
I don't want to go there, but you know we're gonna talk about Venom. We're gonna talk about Bomber 2.
I still haven't watched part 2 of that movie.
We're gonna have to, but no.
Part 2.
I've not watched part 2 of that movie. Venom.
But
it's trash, man.
In general, it was just a great watch, you know.
Joe, talk to me, Michael, because Joe, I know that you have to buy this month. So just general thoughts, and then we'll get into specifics. Joe, talk.
Man, I really am happy that this is actually happening. Like, I need to talk to someone about this. Oh my god, because I don't know about you guys. I'm most likely the only person that didn't see this movie in English.
Wait. So do you speak Russian?
No, I saw it in Ukrainian. And this was they're class B here.
Wait, so you saw it in Russian, or did they have English subtitles?
Bro, pure Ukrainian, no subtitles.
Wait.
Wow.
Okay, Joseph. So, how do you understand what the film's about? Because you said you don't speak Russian, and it was Russian.
No, I speak Ukrainian.
So you speak Ukrainian. Okay.
Yeah, so they're very similar languages. Like, for someone who doesn't know, you can't tell them apart, but they're actually different. But the idea is they're class B, as I said here, borderline class A. You know, like they don't release movies in English until further notice. Like after they've gone rounds in the native language, even in the capital, bro, I was searching for tickets everywhere. It was crazy because all the like cinemas on their chats, you could see people asking like, when's it coming out in English? And it's crazy, but I saw this movie. I was like the third wheel with my sister and her husband, and we saw this movie in the cinema, and it's an outer body experience for me because I can see the entire English world like going crazy, but here is even worse than England. Like nobody talks in the cinema except for like one random kid like taking a call beside me in the movie, but like nobody speaks. Even when the craziest best thing happens, nobody speaks.
Joe, did you vibe with the film? Did you vibe with the movie?
Now,
That's what the streets want to know, man.
I vibed with it. It was cool, but I somehow feel like everyone else thinks it's way cooler than I felt. That's the thing. So
And,
I know it's a really nice movie.
Joe, I'll get to why that's the case, but continue.
Yeah. So I know this is a really nice movie, and it's supposed to get me in the feels. Okay, I won't get into details, but what I'll just say to cap it off is I feel like this is a movie that opens the world to us rather than like brings it home, if you know what I mean. Like from here on out, this is when the money comes. Like this wasn't the movie, but the movies that can come from what this film achieved could be it, if you get what I mean, you know. But yeah, that's
I get it. No, but see, okay, so guys, let's just talk about so let's talk about maybe the first bit of the first bit before these guys show up. So basically, when they find out that he's Spider-Man and they find out his identity, guys, let's keep it real. MIT, you can't get into uni. That's it. So you go to Doctor Strange to turn back time because you can't get into freaking MIT and uni. I'm like, bro, come on. And because my thing is that when that happened at the end of Far From Home, you see, people were like, oh my gosh, it's going to be big. See, this is MCU. It's Disney. They will make every serious situation a joke. Because what should happen is, oh, damn, everybody knows that I'm Peter Parker. So Aunt May and people are going to be in danger and so forth. So they're like, no, hold us down. But the issue was, there was just like, oh, they played it off as like a comment and as, oh, I can't get into MIT. So because you can't get into MIT, you now ask Doctor Strange to pretty much like change. So for me, I was like, look, it was cool. It is what it was. But I mean, so did anybody have an issue with how they handled when his identity was revealed?
Yeah, I have an issue with that.
Talk to me.
For me, this movie was poorly written, and I didn't give my first impression of it. I thought there was too much comedy, forced comedy that Marvel always push, which
but
annoys
you're always going to get that with like. See,
but that ruins the experience.
It's Marvel.
Yeah, it's MCU, man. They do this all the time.
It's MCU, please. Not say Marvel. No, it's not Marvel. Okay, if you watch the series like Daredevil and the rest, there are different feels to it.
That was Netflix.
Actually, technically, it's like Sony Marvel. Trust me, Sony. So like, relax, bro. Well, we're in this as well, so it's like Sony Marvel, but really, it's MCU.
But that doesn't matter because the beginning felt rushed for me. It just felt like it went from one, like his identity being found, him not going uni, MIT, and then like him going to Doctor Strange for like the dumbest reason. Like he's meant to be Spider-Man, and I would say Tom Holland was like, it was his best acting role in this movie, in my opinion. It felt more adult-like for him rather than a teenager near the end of the movie specifically. But like, I enjoyed his acting in this specific movie. Other than that, the beginning for me just didn't like. It wasn't good. That was the main bit that ruined it for me, the beginning. But the experience that you would get from this movie, especially if you're in the theaters and so forth, is like top tier, in my opinion.
No. See, which is why, when Scorsese said that MC movies are a theme park ride, he wasn't dissing it. Bro, this film is an amazing theme park ride. It was a damn good theme park ride. Because I was about to say, like, bro, this is bro, Endgame is not a good film. Winter Soldier is a good film. That's a bloody good film.
That's an amazing film.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
See, Winter Soldier is something you want to say, oh, wow, man, story, action, the way everything is put together, like plot, that is a proper quality film. Endgame is vibes. It was solid vibes. And bro, like watching Endgame in the cinema opening night with hardcore fans, bro, that thing was pretty amazing. So the thing with this Spider-Man thing is, guys, see that we're not talking real like that because this is a perfect way. Because yeah, let's go here. Because before we go to the Spider-Man, let's go here. Who has the best collection of films? Because that's why I said I watched Amazing Spider-Man 1. Now,
in
I
the
don't want to watch
MCU?
Spider-Man 2 because that thing was trash.
No, amongst the Spider-Man.
In Spider-Man or MCU?
Toby had the best.
No. Like this is so. Holland's films,
Yeah,
Maguire's
Toby.
films, or Garfield's
Maguire.
films.
Oh shit.
I'd say
I would say Maguire.
Yeah,
Maguire.
Yeah, Maguire has the best collection out of the. But even though the third one was trash, it still had a better Venom than this new one. So.
Nah, no.
You can't do this, bro.
Ibs, they did Venom bad, man.
I'd like to speak on this.
you see.
Do you know why I was happy? So as I was watching the post, look, we just go all over the place. Look, this is a Hangout.
Bro.
So
we're diving in. We're coming.
No. Like this is random.
I can ruin it for you.
Bro,
I can ruin it for you.
Guys, I have a freaking meal, man. Pasta and so forth. Okay, do you know what's
Vibes out.
You know what's so like my mom and my sister, they like sent me my obviously because we were like sort of like isolated, they sent me like my Christmas meal, man. Bro, I've never been happy in my life. Full on Christmas meal. There's jollof, there's salmon, there's goddamn. So I'm watching the post-credit scene here. The moment that Tom Hardy shows up, I was like, look at this piece of crap. But do you know what the best thing was? When he leaves,
of course.
And then that piece of symbiote lands. Because do you know what that now means?
It represents
that's MC saying, screw you. No, keep that bomb-ass trash Tom Hardy in your universe and so forth. We are now going to have, because the issue now is, bro, Tom Holland is now a guy now.
Can I tell you?
I'm a kid, I'm a child. So you now have to face Venom in the next. So next trilogy should be him and Venom.
Can I tell you who's actually going to be the Venom? Okay. So the Venom that we're going to see is, if you looked at the movie, that Indian guy who's his friend.
Oh, him. Oh,
Flash. Flash. Yeah, he's gonna be the Venom because in comics. No, in comics they actually have his name is called Venom something, but like it's kind of, he has a different suit from the actual Venom, but it looks like the Spider-Man one.
No. Listen. My thing is, you see, it's
yeah,
so weird.
You gotta read the comics.
You see the issue, because Abe, you said, okay, Spider-Man 3, the characteristic was good, but the design was awful because they forced Sam Raimi to.
It was also badly written.
Yeah, no, because Raimi didn't want to do Venom, but the studio forced him to do Venom.
No, but it looked a lot worse. We got the better version, like the original version that they were gonna show for Venom. It was just literally a costume, and it looked like a werewolf. The original one. So the CGI version that we got was actually better than what we originally.
No. My thing is that
CGI wasn't strong enough to carry a full Venom like character.
And they didn't have the rights. They didn't have the rights anyway. So they couldn't make the exact same character.
Look weird, but the characteristics was quite good. Like
no. It was not just that the design was awful. And the issue is Tom Hardy's actually great casting, but I don't know whose bright idea it was. Is that, first of all, how do you have a Venom movie without Spider-Man? The very point of Venom is
it's just like Mobius, man.
No. But the whole point of Venom is he's the antagonist for freaking Spider-Man.
You know, I haven't watched that movie.
Don't watch it.
And the second one,
it's trash.
I watched the first and second.
Since I saw them like the first one,
and they ruined Carnage as well. And they
also
ruined
Carnage. Yeah.
It just boils down to exactly what HH said. Like, there's no point. Like, even just seeing the trailers, it was cool seeing the tongue come out in the normal way, like that, like the way Venom does look creepy and all and hawking. But it just felt like Venom running around in the city. Like, it felt like an empty city. There's nobody there.
There's also no gore. Because oh, sorry, HH, yeah. In Venom 1, what's it again? The scene where he eats the thief's head off. There's no gore, dude. Like, bro, it's like a cartoon. Like,
there's no consequences.
I know there's kids that watch these movies, but come on, man, you're biting somebody's head off. You're gonna get
but who's actually scared of? Who do you think is scared of this Venom though? This is a comedian Venom.
Bro, Venom is doing
no. It's doing this because I've been watching loads of reviews on this on YouTube because there's this channel I watch. I think Double Toes. They said it perfectly. It's a romantic relationship.
Venom and Tom.
I didn't stutter. It's a romantic relationship.
That's disgusting.
Bro, because when I was watching this review and they broke it down, I was like, oh yeah, it is. Like the way they operate and so forth. Because see, I've not watched Venom 2. Some of the stuff I hear about Venom 2, apparently this guy goes to a club, a rave. As Venom,
bro.
No, you heard right, bro.
He also has a little temper tantrum.
Wait, what do you mean apparently? Didn't you watch it, HH?
No. I watched Venom, not Venom 2.
Yo, if you watch Venom 2,
so you know what he did? He did. He went to a club. I watched it too.
After what I had in Venom 2, wait, Gato, you saw Venom 2.
I saw Venom 2.
I saw
Venom 2.
Yeah. He went to a club.
Okay, wait. Who's seen Venom 2?
Yeah,
me.
Yeah.
I saw him go to a club.
Did he go to a rave and say,
he did.
I'm free.
Bro, he had LED LED lights around his neck and everything, bro.
I thought that was an advert.
I'm not back on point. So, shout out to your boy Sean. Thank you for the Sean. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 is the best Spidey film of all time. Had everything in it. Now, see, this is difficult. See, guys, Spider-Man was my comic. Spider-Man was my comic. You see, I always realized that, I was never a fan of Batman in the comics. I was just a fan of the Batman films. But the Spider-Man comic, that was the guy that resonated with me because he just had the coolest costume. There's never been a good Spider-Man film.
What?
But here's the thing.
Number two.
I watched part 2. My issue with the Maguire films is...
Good is a stretch. It's not comic accurate, but it's good.
No. See, guys, it's nothing is cheesy as heck, bro. It is cheesy as heck. I'm like, yes, but a man can be cheesy, but bro, not Swiss cheese. This is Edam.
Not Gouda.
So,
not even Gouda cheese.
Like for me, the best Spidey film in my is the Spider-Verse, like the Into the Spider-Verse, the first one. I think it's the best one.
The thing about Spider-Man's character, right?
No. In terms of a quality product, but the thing about Spider-Man is, I need to watch the game because I'm going to come back again. Let's talk about because we'll talk about Green Goblin afterwards. Let's talk about the 3 Spider-Men. Now, guys, here's the thing. Let's talk about reactions. Now, so I'm sitting sort of in the front, so then everyone is sort of at the back. And
when did you watch it?
I watched it day of release. Yeah, day of release.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that when you're done.
But Gatlock,
that was when
some Bombers clan ruined it for me.
Bro, in the comments, I was trying to ruin it.
You even made a video about it, right?
Do you know what an idiot did? I'm on Football Hot.
I was there. It was my comment. Not my comment. It was under my comment. I saw it.
I saw the same thing.
It was because I'm on football because you know what I do is sometimes YouTube block some comments for some stupid reason. So I just try to approve the comments and so forth. So I'm going to
No. Okay. I think I'm the one that blocked it. You probably saw I'm the one that probably blocked it. I saw it. I think because I'm a mod. So I saw it and I blocked it.
No. But Gatlock, you did the right thing. But basically, Gatlock, I was always going to be screwed. Because my thing is, I want to go there because some stuff shouldn't be blocked. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that I need to approve. The first line, see, it's not to say, oh, in Spider-Man, then I can say block. The first line, Aunt May dies. Like,
I saw the exact same comment.
I was playfully blocking, spoiling it for people in comment sections when I saw your video on that. Even on Twitter, I was replying everywhere that Mary Jane dies in the first 10 minutes of the movie. And then someone replied to me, Aunt May dies. And I thought he was doing exactly what I was doing to others, playfully. And then I got to the movie and I actually saw it. And then I was like, oh my
God, man. What's wrong with people?
Look, see, my thing is in this, because I want to get people's how it was in the cinema. So let me explain one, and then I want to go around the room. So basically, I'm in there, like, because when Ned starts doing the thing, I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. Now, when he sees Spider-Man through, people are like, oh, I'm like, no, that's just, they obviously found Tom Holland. Then I was like, how are they? Then when he now jumps through, I was like, it's going to be the guy. When he takes it off, bro, I thought the loudest I've ever been in the cinema was when Captain America got to Mjolnir. Because, when he got to Mjolnir in
Endgame, that was a sick role.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody stood up. Bro, it was a party.
I loved it.
Even I stood up. I was like, wow, bro. And they started with, so it was crazy. But, bro, the level of screaming. It's like, oh, man, I told you, man. I told you. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I told you. I was like, whoa. People screamed their heads off. But you know the thing was, I think my cinema was a bit young. So when Tobey Maguire came, they're like, who is this old washed up Jerry?
Hey, Toby's entrance was the worst.
It was, casual.
It wasn't memorable. It wasn't memorable.
No, it was the
They
worst.
shouldn't have done it at the same time.
I think different.
Bro,
Exactly. No. It was literally.
Bro, Maguire looked old. That guy.
Because he is old.
In the defense, this guy was close to 50. That's the reason why I was never. That's why. See, Andrew Garfield's zone hits better because he was still a bit young. To Maguire's zone doesn't hit as much. It doesn't hit as much. I was wondering how he was keeping up with them. I'm guessing it was a stunt double. There's no way he was doing that.
No. But do you know why Garfield hit? Because Maguire, that's 02.
Yeah, but his last movie was 07.
No.
Was 7.
Was 07. But if you were there in 02, then it would hit you more. So really, you need to be 30s, 40s to be like, yeah, man, I remember that whole thing. If you're teenagers, 20s, maybe you caught Spider-Man 3 in 07, really, and so forth. But really, what would hit you was Garfield. I think about Garfield is his films were trash. I think he was the best actor. Women loved him. Like, women just loved him.
Like, one of the big critiques for Garfield's movies where he was too cool for the role because Spider-Man's supposed to be like a dork. Like, he's supposed to be a
but see, Joe,
he was too cool to be Peter Parker, but Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. Like, he's so cool, he's too cool for the role. So yeah, it's understandable that girls love it.
So Wise, what was your experience when those Spider-Man came and appeared, man?
See, the whole appearance of the trio was ruined, but the reaction that Garfield got was ridiculous. Because I like how they did it as well. Because when he came out, when he spoke, you couldn't tell which one that was. Like, you couldn't figure out if it was Garfield or Toby. And obviously, when he revealed himself, that's when they knew who it was. So I think they did that pretty clean. The issue with Toby was they should have spread it out. They shouldn't have had both of them appear at the same time and also Toby's entrance was so lackluster. Dude just walked through the thing and it was too casual. It was too casual.
No. You know what? You see, so this is when it was done well. See, that's why I say it's good directing by George and Watts.
They're trying to.
No, because Garfield, remember, he's younger, he's more edgier.
They're trying to.
Maguire, you're dealing with nostalgia, and he's much older. So because he's much older, it needs to be trust me, for somebody who was 30s or 40s, that's perfect.
Yeah, but
because he's older. So because
can I speak on this next?
Because think about it, because he's older, it's slower much more cinematic and so forth. Garfield, he's younger, edgier, more spry, so he will jump out of the whole thing. So you had to have a totally different vibe from the whole
even
thing. Was like their
Garfield's,
father.
Garfield's films were much more rock and roll as compared to like Maguire's, which were quite tonally subdued as compared to like, you know. So I think it was more of a directing choice to separate their feels, all of them differently. But yeah, I think Jay Gassy wants to go.
Oh yeah. All right. So my experience in the theater, first off, I saw it twice already. I saw it first in the drive-in with my girl, and then, I was squinting the whole time. I couldn't see properly because we didn't get there on time. So I saw it again the next day in the theater. So when Garfield came through,
sorry, where are you based?
Canada.
Cool.
Yeah.
My guy.
Yeah. So
Maple Leaf.
yeah. So when Garfield walked through the portal, I actually did not think they would go there. I've been avoiding spoilers and discussions about it. I didn't think they'd go there, but I liked his entrance. But I thought that Toby, he just portrayed this OG sort of persona. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I don't need to keep up with you guys. It's almost like when you see footballers develop their game. They don't need to be running after everything. They know where to be already, right? So, I mean, the football reference is a little weird, but Toby just gave off that vibe, especially when he walked through the portal, all slow and calm. That's who he is as a Spider-Man. So I thought he was great.
No. That reference makes sense because
so he's like Messi walking on the pitch.
No, don't say that. Don't go there.
Nah, please.
Let's not go there. No, but no, it makes sense because it's like you have to realize that he's been Spider-Man for a very long time. So he can't act like 02 Spider-Man, 04 or 07 Spider-Man. Like, he's much older.
But hey, Chich, but like you had Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin, they came in like, you know, attacking like cars and so forth, right? But like, why didn't we have what I was expecting was Maguire and Garfield? They come into like battle to save Tom Holland.
No. That'll be bad. No, because you have to build up to it. Because it's such a big moment, you have to build up to it and so forth. Because if they're just shown there, then it's ruins.
They just came in. They just came into a room like it wasn't funny. It was meant to be comedy with that old lady, whoever she is. But like I was so hyped, and then all I just see them is just enter and then say, "Yo," and like what? I don't know. I expected a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, for me, to be honest, it's them just being there. It's so crazy. It doesn't even really matter how. It doesn't actually matter how they came in, as long as they were just there and they're not in the same room. It's like boom, you know.
Well, the idea is it has to fit into the movie that you're writing, and that's something that this movie does well, in the sense that it is a moments merchant kind of movie, but it tries its best to make sure that when they're adding something, an element, it actually fits into the narrative of the movie. Like, it's there for a reason. The characters that they added actually fulfill the narrative purpose. Even the villains, or one villain, then a bunch of villains.
Yeah, but if it's multiple universes, why is there only 3 Spider-Man? Like,
yeah, like you could pick at that forever, because for
but you know, that's what happened in the end. In the end, there were more where we're going to start coming through.
Yeah.
So if he hadn't done that thing at the very end, you'd have had all the Spider-Man, all the villains all come through because they were all coming through and so forth. So that was going to happen. If then I think
the answer is we've only had 2 other Spider-Man in live action. That's the
obviously.
But I think the point is making is what is so into the Spider-Verse, where you just see all these crazy incorporations of Spider-Man in all the different universes that exist.
You can't have Spider Piggy, bro. It's great. I would walk out.
Relax. It's the MCU. Relax. It will make an appearance.
Bro. They'll have a Spider-Ant. Then they'll have a freaking Spider-Ant there. So now I think again, when we saw the trailer, everybody knew what this was about. So, you know, when MJ starts to fall,
Oh yes,
And
bro.
I
The
knew
reaction.
Garfield was going to catch it.
Reaction.
I knew Garfield was going to catch it.
No, guys. Okay, guys. I'll be real with you, man. Even if I know that this film was vibes, I knew what it was. I was like, you know what? That felt good, man.
Yeah.
Bro, there was grown men crying in there, bro. There was grown men crying in the cinema, bro.
Oh, wait. In your cinema, they were crying?
Yeah. Because it was such a wholesome moment, bro.
Wow.
I was looking around. I was like, wow.
In my
Because
cinema,
it was such a 360. It was a full 360, and then the way it was because Garfield's reaction was so over the top to saving her. His facial expressions.
Because MJ was like, wait a minute, wait. Why are you the one crying after saying that?
She's like, are you okay?
Are you all right? Are you fine? You know?
But in my theater, nothing happened. Like even when Garfield came through, Toby came through, they all posed together, MJ falling from the sky. Nobody reacted, bro. It was horrible.
Wow, they have no pulse. They have no pulse.
You know what's crazy about it? You know what's crazy? The time I went to see Endgame, and this time I was all by myself in the front row, right in the middle of the front row. I didn't know anybody in the theater. And when Mjolnir gets into Cap's hand, because they shot that specifically so you don't know who's going to grab it. They follow
it was done so well. Yeah.
And I literally screamed in the theater.
Bro, I went crazy.
Nobody still said it.
They're just a massive smile on my face because obviously Cap is Thor is trash. I've always hated Thor in this incorporation.
Really?
And Cap always in my
really.
I was like,
Thor is trash. Dang.
Bro,
no, in MCU, he's not good, man. In MCU,
are you talking about the movie or the character?
Wait, you talking about the character or the movie?
In the MCU,
He's so trash. He's so trash that because you can't make a serious film into attempt, you created a comedy.
God
damn. At least it worked.
Oh, you're talking about the movie. Oh yeah, the movie is trash.
Yeah, the movie.
No. The character is amazing in the comics.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm about to say.
Yeah, no. Chris Hemsworth is trash. That's what I say. Chris Hemsworth is trash. Wait, let me just before so to Kelly. Wait, how does this guy find this?
Bro,
wrong channel. You took a wrong turn, man. Keep driving down the road. Keep driving.
It's Tayo Aaron. He's on my Discord. Stop, Tayo. Stop.
My CFC boys are coming for Spider-Man in the next.
Boy, Martin Mason Mountain Spider.
What's it called? My Mr. Footballista says, talk about Miles Morales. Trash. He's not Peter Parker. Look, people call me
Morales on his own.
No, they're pushing a black agenda. They're pushing.
No. Okay. Allow it. I mean, this is RDS, but I read Marvel.
Red Marvel, you already had your piece. I've never heard of you. You already had your piece, bro.
Wait, who are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Red Marvel, man. It's
wait, so there's Magpies, there's Red Devil Studio, and Red Marvel now.
This is a multiverse in itself, bro. This is a multiverse.
We're all three of us together, bro. All three.
Yeah.
They all sound the same.
I want to say all three of you together in the same room at the same time.
We need y'all to do a podcast.
So Jet says, does Daredevil mean? Oh, thank you. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes.
We need to get to Daredevil, man. We need to get to Daredevil.
I
just showed it for 2 seconds and it's gone.
I gotta get in on this.
Hold on, can I talk about reactions quickly?
Oh, go for it.
Since I came in, since I was like a week late and I was in my cinema, bro, I'll let you, because sometimes when I watch a movie, you like to vibe with the cinema, right? My cinema was trash. They say I'm used to opening nights and stuff like that. Garfield came in, Maguire came in, silence. What else was there again? The villains came in. I think I was the only person active there. I was like, what the hell?
Man. What kind of brick cinema did you go to? Wait, Siberia have cinemas in Siberia.
Only Nigeria in London, man. It was Nigeria. Nobody. Are you kidding me? If it was Nigeria, nobody's keeping quiet, even if it's 1 month after the movie comes out.
Because I watched Homecoming in Nigeria, and the funny thing in Nigeria is people. basically it's like a football match. So basically, people in the judgment are like commentating. It's ironic to that. Like this. Why did they go to that? Don't go there now. Oh, why?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I watched. There was a time I was watching him. You know, in Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, when he was trying to grab Gwen, and the thing was transformed to a hand. Somebody was like, "Kilo day," like.
No, but you know, I'll be with you. That was done very well. Yeah. Because you think he catches her. I'm like, oh, then you like, plonk. I was like, what?
Bro, I was surprised she died. I didn't see that coming.
Bro, I was shocked.
That shocked me. Yeah,
single-handedly almost made the entire movie relevant.
Yeah, no, because the film was a horrible film.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Let's talk villains.
Yes.
Okay, guys, he stole the show.
William Dafoe. Green Goblin is
number
that
one.
Dude. He's that dude.
And it's good that he stole the show. He was the first villain, man.
I'd make a case that he's a second to Thanos, and even Thanos, like, he could potentially be the best.
Yeah, but
no. Red Marvel. Let's talk. You see, the thing about this dude, let me bring him up. The thing about this dude is
this guy's got a fresh beard lineup, bro.
I didn't even know that was the picture was, man.
Hey, Thanos, shout out to your father, bro.
Certified lover Thanos.
He looked like a Nigerian chief. And so forth. We give him like an abada and everything like that. And so my thing about Thanos is he's not a good villain. It's a well-made character. He's not a villain. Goblin is a villain.
I can argue that, HH.
No, not necessarily, HH. You're being too pedantic.
No, okay, let's keep it real. What did Thanos do that was truly evil?
Yo, this guy committed genocide.
That was it.
No, but he had a mission to, because like his people died because like they didn't have enough resources. So like he had a purpose and a goal, but his method was bad, but he had a goal to do well. Goblin is a pure villain. He has no intentions of doing well. He just wants to fuck up everything.
There's different kinds of villains.
Great Sir Adolphus thought he was doing good. He's still a villain. That's the idea. So I understand what you're saying. That's in the pure sense of an evil villain, like the maniacal villain that just wants to do bad. But there are different types of villains. Not all. These kinds of villains, like what's his name, the Green Goblin, Oscorp. He kind of loses his value if all villains are maniacal like he is.
Exactly.
So there's the beauties and the variety, and when these kinds, like him or the Joker, comes along, you kind of cherish them more because they're not that many that just want to see the world.
But see, my issue is there was such a massive build-up to Thanos. He needed to be like a Green Goblin. He needed to do something where, basically, Thanos needed to take out. Bro, let's keep it real. No one cares about Black Widow.
Ouch.
No one cares about Black Widow.
Thank you, HH. Nobody cares about that trash.
No one cares about African green chick as well.
What about
Gamora.
Imagine if Thanos clipped Cap.
That can happen. That can happen.
But I'm not saying. Imagine if they created a scene where, like, Endgame, they Captain America and he kills Captain America, bro. That's
but that's more an MCU, though. That's the people writing the story.
There's a reason why there was only one funeral, man. There's a reason why there was only one funeral at the end of everything. One meaningful funeral, man. There was a reason why there was only one, because that's the guy that mattered that died.
You know what's funny? Actually, you might be right, because if we do analyze Endgame as a film, like not an MCU, not a comic book, as a film, then there's an argument that whilst Thanos might be the villain, he is the protagonist.
No, in Infinity War, he was the protagonist.
That's how stupid that. I told you. I'm the only guy that believes this, bro. Infinity War.
You are
stupid.
I also think that people seem to be like, thinking that Green Goblin's like, I mean, maybe I'm seeing it differently, but I'm referring to what it did in the previous movies. But this idea that he's just random chaos, even stuff like that, like that is just true to a certain extent. But he does say clearly, like, listen, like I want people to. Why am I hiding who I am? I want to be able to utilize my gifts for the benefit of me. And I think what was interesting in this movie and the same with Spider-Man was that like it was the clash between, hey, why are you hiding behind a mask? Why are you holding you're holding yourself back, like Parker? Like this was the whole. Like, so what was interesting in this whole movie was that like he clearly, for me, what I could see is that clearly Goblin was in control, and he was playing on Aunt May's like emotions, on his goodness, all these things, so that he could see his opportunity, knowing full well that like no, this dude is powerful, stronger, but like you're holding yourself back.
No. Like, but see, Marvel though.
Yeah.
Which is what we discussed in the whole thing.
Yeah.
If he was always in control, why didn't his Spidey sense go off earlier?
Because he wasn't in danger at that time.
Wait, no, I think the thing is he let. I think he let the good half come out first. I think what he let the good half come out.
Because remember, he sprayed. What was it when the Spider sense went on because he web shooted something that Norman had in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I suspect Norman was going to. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was some Goblin.
I think it was going to inject something.
It was going to inject someone. So like, I think the fact that he clearly the Goblin had planned to do something sinister in that moment, and that's when Spider-Man's
No. Hold on. I think that's completely true. I think what happened was the bad guy, the Goblin was always in control, but I think at some point he let Norman take the wheel. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Take control at any time he wanted, because he said that he saw through Norman. Because there was a time when he was talking to Peter, when he was smashing him to the ground, it was like Norman was right.
That's
what I'm saying. Because he was watching from behind the scenes.
Do you know how you know for sure that something?
Just 1 second.
Wait. Marvel did you job, Marvel.
Just one thing, that's why Galax makes the exact one. That's why for me it's even more interesting as a villain, more so than Thanos, because it was like you didn't know when we were watching it, you didn't know that was what the Green Goblin was doing. That he was manipulating, that he was using Norman Osborn to achieve what he wanted to achieve for that purpose. So, as a villain, I think it's a bit too simplistic to say, he's just random chaos, etc. There was clearly something behind it. So, but anyway, Professor, go on.
Yeah, like Utonium actually, but actually, see, like I'm not saying that Green Goblin isn't. He is my favorite. Like, and how I know for certainty that he stole this movie was before I listened to any review or anything else, I asked my sister and her husband, what were your thoughts? And the first thing I told them was, Green Goblin stole the movie, before I heard anything else. And so when I came out and I heard all of you saying the same thing, I was like, of course, Willem Dafoe knocked it out of the park.
Of course, because he's a G.
Good. I'm just saying, just because might be better or arguably same quality doesn't make Thanos trash. That's just what I'm saying.
No, Joe. The point I was making is Thanos is a great character, but as a villain, I didn't feel any kind of remorse, or I didn't feel like if he was evil. Because it was also a guy, I'm doing this because of X. So I don't think they were actually fighting a bad guy. You're just fighting a guy who is just doing.
You just disagree with him.
Yeah, you just disagree with him. Goblin is basically it's like Sauron in Lord of the Rings. He's bad. He's evil. He wants to rule over everyone.
Okay.
And you know what made it absolutely certain for me that the Goblin was taking a back seat on purpose to let Norman creates the perfect opportunity for him to come out and then, is the fact that naturally when Osborn is in control, the Goblin still talks to him.
We'll get there.
100. Man, Electro, man. Oh, did you guys see? Do you guys see the
Not
plot?
Electro. It's Jamie Foxx.
No, it's JB Fox, bro.
Yeah, that was not Electro, man. That was not Electro.
Yo,
Yeah.
HH, let me speak on Goblin real quick, man.
We're talking about it.
Wait.
So they say, Jamie Foxx, do you want to be the Spider-Man? Oh yeah, sure.
Easy.
Professor, mute your mic.
We'll talk about it later, but did you guys notice the really bad plot hole?
Wait. Don't say it
Oh
yet.
yeah.
Go to it.
The idea is generally even when Osborn is in control, the Goblin still talks to him and like makes his life a nightmare and gives all this like evil thoughts and doesn't let him rest. But we had none of that from the beginning until the Goblin took over. And if he was having those thoughts, the spider sense might have gone off. So it's kind of weird that we heard nothing from the Goblin.
But that's why in the comics as well, the Green Goblin is so dangerous. And
Yep.
when you read the comics, you see the interaction between him and Norman Osborn because and when you bring Harry in, because Peter never knows, because obviously Peter knows that Norman Osborn is Harry's father, for example, but Peter never knows when he's interacting with him as Peter Parker, not as Spider-Man's Peter Parker. Am I dealing with Norman Osborn, who's innocent in all of this, or am I dealing with the Green Goblin? Is the Green Goblin manipulating Norman Osborn? Like, you can never. It's fascinating because ultimately Peter Parker doesn't want to kill Norman Osborn because of Harry and because of his whole thing. But he wants to kill Green Goblin, and so it creates this interesting dynamic where I'm like, I need to save this guy, but this guy's going to kill everything that I love.
But
what do I do? How do I work for it? Because I don't know who I'm fighting. Am I fighting Norman or am I fighting Green Goblin? But what's going on? You know what I mean?
HH, real quick.
Can I? Oh, okay.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I just want to really, and this is not me being mean, but I go by the comics. I read the comics sometimes, and I see it all. I don't know why MCU cannot put Kingpin and Spider-Man in this type of movie because for me,
wait. Did you?
I saw the thing is, I'm red. Let me explain. I saw Kingpin in Hawkeye, and I understand that he's one of Hawkeye's.
Right?
Yeah, like spoilers, bro.
I get it.
Some people
came out yesterday. No, but if you look at it, Kingpin is one of Spider-Man's worst villains. Like Green Goblin, he's like one of his worst villains. Because if you watch the animated series of Spider-Man in back in the 2000s, you'll see like he used to fight Spider-Man and
he's mostly
that was the 90s one. Yeah, that was the 90s one.
Yeah. He's Kingpin comic wise man
It's
Daredevil. It's Daredevils, but
like he does appear for Spider-Man, but he is known more as Daredevil's villain.
Yeah, and they all live in the same kind of location, all in New York. So of course, because they all live in New York, they're obviously going to interact with the same type.
But my question,
yeah,
my question is, then why couldn't you do that for this film too? You get what I'm trying. You could have added. I feel like
don't tell me the same way you talk on football.
No. Like the thing is, like you could add a new villain. You get what I'm trying to, because we already knew Lizard. We already knew. Four villains.
I understand where he's coming from, but yeah, we've seen the same villains again and again. Every film.
Yes, but what I'm saying.
But no, I get what you're saying, but my thing though is that look. This film was trying to be something specific, which is that it's the multiverse. Because it's the multiverse, the whole point of it is all the villains from Garfield and Maguire's films are in here, and they don't have to all fight this villain. So that's what this film is about. See, Kingpin is going to appear in the next 3 films.
I believe. So, I strongly believe.
But actually, okay, so I think they said that explain the plot hole. So Marvel, I don't know what you think the plot hole is, but I was watching something.
Yeah.
And this is what they said the plot hole was. So this because it's not me. This was a YouTube video.
I thought the plot hole was Jamie Foxx's hair.
No. Basically, they said that. Basically, they said that every single person that came through knew who Peter Parker was.
That was the spell. Yeah.
That was the spell. But then Jamie Foxx then says to Garfield that, "Oh, I thought you were black," which means that he didn't know who Peter Parker was.
Yeah.
So if he didn't know who Peter Parker was, why did the spell bring him in? So that is that plot of the why was that the same plot you're thinking of, or something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. It was like because the whole point of the spell was that it was essentially trying to erase everyone that should know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. It was a spell. The spell obviously got busted. So then the people that were coming in were people that knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. So everyone there, Lizard, knew that, but Electro never knew that. Well, Jamie Foxx never knew that. So, you know, I know some people try to explain it where maybe in the universe when he was hooking himself up to electricity or the internet, maybe he might have got that information somewhere and didn't use it. But I haven't found a good explanation yet as to how.
No. Oh yeah. I heard one explanation, which is there a possibility that they somehow make Miles Morales with Jamie Foxx in that universe?
That's not an explanation though, because he's taken Jamie Foxx actually is taken from because at the start when he comes to the universe.
Yeah, I agree.
He says like, I was in the process of fighting you, and then I got there and I was in, and then
here.
Also, Joe, as well. I'm sorry, I don't want to see Miles Morales. See, I told you, for me.
She's coming. She's coming.
No, it's pushing an agenda. He's pushing an agenda. He's pushing an agenda.
Wait. So in a sense, like you said, best Batman from the UK. James Franco is currently fighting sexual allegations, man. There was no chance in hell Disney were going to put him in this store. So, okay, guys, let's talk Daredevil.
Yes. So again, this is my point.
I was literally the only excited person when he came in.
My issue with Disney. My issue is this with this, like, now, the Daredevil series, quality, amazing, damn good series, superb.
I never watched it.
Wait, hold up.
I never watched it.
Wait, can we do Hawkeye spoilers or should we not do Hawkeye spoilers?
Can I please do that? Can I please do that?
If you haven't seen Hawkeye,
No, let's not do that.
Episodes, man.
Okay,
let's not do that.
Wait, hold on. Okay, here's my issue.
I loved it.
Now, it's great, him being there. It's great. I think he should be in it a lot more. Because as I was saying with Red One, when we were doing our discussion, the first half should have been him trying to protect Thingy as a lawyer, so you not get more into Daredevil. But my thing here is that you saw how hardcore that Netflix series was, how gritty it was. You think Disney are going to do that with Daredevil?
No.
So my thing is that what made that TV show so good was, bro, it was hardcore, and they really pushed the envelope because. Daredevil, like if you read the comic, this guy is a really gritty character, and he's like in Hell's Kitchen in New York. So my thing though is, Disney will always be Disney, which is why I'm worried about Blade. You saw what that Snipes Blade film was, bro.
Yeah.
Disney.
So good.
When has Disney ever made like people say, what about Daredevil? Sorry, so what about Deadpool?
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say too.
What are you talking about? Deadpool is a comedy. It's just a bloody comedy. That's it.
Yeah, man.
No, but it's an R-rated comedy, but it's still a comedy. It's not. It's not R-rated. It's not serious violence.
Deadpool is in Disney.
No, the only reason I accept Deadpool because he's actually funny in the comics as well.
We've yet to see a movie actually a Disney MC movie that has Deadpool in it anyway. So I suspect that he's gonna be dumbed down even more.
Yeah, they're going to Disneyize it.
It's Fox or what? Or Sony?
It was Fox that Fox did the X-Men. And that the irony is that I actually think that in this movie you can kind of see, because this was technically Sony had more of the lead, and you can kind of see the influence that Sony had versus the influence the MCU had. Because it was like there were some moments like at the beginning of the movie in particular, this is MCU. And towards the end, especially with Maguire and Mount, like, okay, no, this is definitely Sony because Sony's wanting to maybe use this. I'm hearing reports or rumors that maybe Andrew Garfield, for example, might be back for an Amazing Spider-Man 3.
And I'm into that.
Heard about that.
For me, he's the script was garbage, but Andrew Garfield is a brilliant actor. If they gave him a good script,
he's the best
he'll be okay. In this movie, he, to me, he was the best actor for Spider-Man. He was.
No, you see what I've always said, which is what I said about this. This is how I view it. I wasn't a fan of the Maguire's films. I respect them for the way I was not a fan of Maguire or the other films.
It was too dark.
One is not perfect, but it's actually decent. I still think that's the best film. Not good, but it's still the best film. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is garbage. But Andrew Garfield as an actor is the best actor.
You see,
Tom Holland. Tom Holland is decent. He ain't great. You see, I just watched the trailer for Uncharted. Dumb idea for a film, and so because I'm like,
wrong cast.
Like the whole Uncharted is a poor man's Indiana Jones. The whole point of Uncharted is the game.
Hey, relax. I actually like that game. Come on.
Gatlog, let's keep it. The story is trash. So my thing though is, I just don't even know where this thing's going. So look, let me come to you, boy. So YSK, how do you think they can do Daredevil justice if they're bringing him in under Disney's umbrella?
Man, I can explain this well. Okay.
No, wait. YSK, are you there? YSK. Or isn't there? Okay, cool. Talk to me.
Okay. So, one thing I want to say is that I think, we have to remind ourselves that Daredevil is also going to be in that Echo TV series. Now, if any of you don't know Echo, she's another girl, right? I'm sorry, HH. I'm sorry.
No. I'm not saying anything, man.
Yeah. Echo is he's kind of like
from Hawkeye core if you can. I'm just saying.
I'm trying, but it's one of the best TV series
I know, man. It just came out. Relax.
Question. Hold on. Is Echo in Hawkeye?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's who you're talking about. I didn't know.
Yeah. So basically, him and Daredevil have a love relationship. And so they're set to be in the TV series. But I think one thing about Daredevil is he has this kind of Batman feel to him, which I think is really good for the MCU. And I think maybe the MCU is kind of missing that type of Batman feel in their heroes, because the last time I really saw something like that, I would say personally is probably I can't remember I think is it Black Panther or something like I forgot, but I've not really seen that Batman feel for a long time, and I think we kind of miss that Batman feel, and I think he can bring it to the MCU. One thing though I'll also say is that for Spider-Man and Daredevil in the comics, I think it makes sense because you have two different polar opposite characters, one which is very kind of comedian-ish and one that's very, like I said, very dark, serious, and
No, but my thing is that my thing is how do we actually no, but come on to this. Okay, so who in that film, because this was always my did you want to come back to the whole Spider-Man thing? Because in my view, yes, this was Tom Holland's. Okay, see, this is weird. Okay, it was Tom Holland's strongest performance.
Yes,
it's the best film by default out of the three, but this trilogy is trash.
What? Yeah, no. Can I say my piece on it? Can I say one thing about it? Can I say one thing?
Wait. Let me explain. I'll give it to you, Barry. I'll tell you why this trilogy is trash. The first film, Homecoming, he's Iron Man's bitch.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
That doesn't make it bad.
That's true.
Second film, Far From Home isn't good. Spider-Man Far From Home is not a good film. And
I don't think I read that movie again. I don't think I've read that movie back again.
No. And my thing is that Mysterio is actually an interesting character, which they just made cheap and stupid, and they wasted Jacob Gyllenhaal.
The best part of that movie was the end of it when he's like, "Screw you," and releases the identity stuff.
Oh no,
that's the only best part of the movie. Yeah.
So my thing is, and then he now comes to No Way Home, guys. No Way Home is really about the three Spider-Men. Yes, Tom Holland gave his best performance, and yes, a lot of big stuff happened.
And
but the real juice of it is Garfield.
No, HH, you're
That's
compromised.
why. That's
That's
why
the
I
problem.
respect.
No,
That's why I
HH,
respect
HH and Red
Garfield.
Devil. All I'm before everyone goes, I'm only gonna say I watched your video, and one thing I realized is Red Devil, you and HH are very compromised and cannot view this movie in an unbiased manner. That's just my general opinion.
Wait. This is
Wait,
Red
no,
Marvel.
wait.
You can't just sit
Unbiased.
down and mute your mic.
Hold on, Galaxy.
Explain how. Why?
Explain.
Because the thing is, like, I'm in the same boat in a sense, because my favorite Spider-Man of all time, no matter what anything says, is sentimental. I understand it's Tobey Maguire. I grew up watching Tobey Maguire. I grew up on Tobey Maguire. He is my Spider-Man. I'm not a big fan of Tom Holland, to be honest. But then the thing is like, I feel like people misunderstood the whole theme of this movie, and the whole Spider-Man is a child, guys.
Yeah.
That's the point. That is literally the point. Spider-Man is a kid. Tom Holland, universe. Hold on. Let me line.
Oh, sorry, I'll let you go. Okay, I'll address your point afterwards. But go on. Yeah, go on.
Tom Holland's Spider-Man. This version of Spider-Man is a child, and everything throughout the whole movie made sense because he was very naive. Because he's a child, and I feel like the fact that when I was watching you guys, I feel like you guys misunderstood that. Because the thing people need to understand is that you gotta view every single Spider-Man individually. You cannot view Spider-Man as a single identity. It's impossible because of the whole multiverse thing. Every Spider-Man is different.
No.
But this isn't Spider-Man.
Let Yasser finish his point, because I'm going to address one of him. But go on, Yasser.
So the thing is like the whole theme of this whole movie, and the reason why this movie was for me, it was more captivating and made me a fan of Tom Holland. This is coming from someone that does not like Tom Holland, is because this is the moment where Tom Holland, the child from his first movie and his second movie, this is his moment, and where he develops as a character, where he becomes a man. Tom Holland becomes a man in this. This is why this movie is so captivating. This is why this movie is so captivating, because half of the movie, he's a child. He's naive. He goes to Doctor Strange. He comes in and he does naivety things that I would do as a kid. And as a grown man, I'm like, this is stupid. But then, but then he becomes a man. Towards the moment he becomes a man was the moment Aunt May died.
Yeah, but yes,
these moments.
Yes.
So sorry, let me just address the point.
Red Marvel, can I quickly say this?
Oh yeah, go on, James. Go on.
Big up to Red Marvel, but
thanks, man.
You can't have a trilogy, 3 movies for him to become a man. That's too. That's too.
No, that's
let's Marvel respond to what's thing you want
to say.
Okay. So well, Chainsaw was speaking, so I'll speak after.
Red Marvel, I'll go after you.
Okay, fine. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. So yeah, essentially, like, it's essentially what Chainsaw's got to say. You're right. Like, at the end of the day, this is the third part of a movie. Okay, so yes, it shouldn't take him 3 movies to go from a boy to man. That's the first thing. The second point is, like, there's a very big difference between being a kid and being stupid. Okay, like you say Peter Parker. Well, yes, Peter Parker's a kid, but Peter Parker consistently is shown to be somewhat intelligent. Even Miles Morales, I actually love the Into Spider-Verse movie because it actually epitomizes for me what Spider-Man is about. Like loss, redemption, good villains, good characterization, and like growing through trial. Whilst at the same time, your Spider-Man is not like an idiot. Like Miles Morales is not. He's trying to learn how to be Spider-Man. Essentially, the Into Spider-Verse Miles Morales should actually be what Tom Holland should be written as. This guy who's actually learning how to be a Spider-Man, clumsily at times, but he's not like an idiot. This was one of them. This guy, okay, is graduate. You're saying he's a kid, like, bro, the guy's going into college, and you mean to tell me that he can't pick up a phone and ring MIT and say, "Can I get this sorted?" he's got like, I don't know how the American system is over there, but don't you guys have to be smart, intelligent to get into MIT, or have some sort of working like intelligence or brain to be accepted into MIT?
Hold up. Wait, Marvel, I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
Far from home, Iron Man gave you these special shades special, and obviously these things can give you ability. How well do you know this Mysterio dude? So you just only believe that he's the right man to receive it. A guy you literally just met.
Yes.
Bro,
Well,
but
to be
HH,
honest,
I'm gonna ask you a question.
kid can make that mistake. A kid can actually make that mistake.
But then that's my point.
If I'll be honest with you,
I was 16,
if I'll
man.
be honest with you,
A kid can make that mistake, but it's a bit even if we put that one to the side, because like even just because I actually think the movie was good. Don't get me wrong, like I love the movie. I love it. I think overall I agree sort of with what Yas is saying. But at the same time, like I can't deny the fact that at times the movie was very cachectic.
I agree with
the
that.
battle with Doctor Strange, I'm like, Doctor Strange should be. I don't get like, oh, he beat him with maths because Doctor Strange is sorcerer. Well, he's not sorcerer.
He's a sorcerer.
He's a sorcerer. Beat him with. So you were able to beat Doctor Strange with maths, but you weren't able to get to have a simple phone call. This is what I'm trying to say. Yes, it's not.
No, I get the point, Red Devil, but
you have to have something.
No, here's a problem I have. Look, here's a problem I have, guys. Because I grew up. I'm gonna tell you my perspective. I grew up watching the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon. That was one of my favorite cartoons. That was my I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I grew up watching Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He's my favorite Spider-Man. He is the Spider-Man for me. And for me, the thing I didn't like about Tom Holland was because he was a child. They make Spider-Man into a kid. And I had a big problem with that because I feel like Spider-Man should have been an adult. But then the thing is because I accepted Spider-Man, this version of Spider-Man, for who he is. He was a child. And I remember myself as being his age, 17, 18. At times I did idiotic stuff, especially in America. You do stupid things. You're irrational. You're naive. You think you know everything, but you don't know anything. You don't think logically at times. You don't rationalize things. Like stuff. Sometimes you make mistakes. You're like, oh shit, why did I do that? That was kind of dumb. But you don't think. And that was what I saw. I saw an American teenager. That's legit what I saw, and that's what he was. So I feel like
that's not. You're talking like as if this is the first movie.
No,
but then I get that point. But then it's like, I get your point.
Yes, sir.
This is the third movie. Hold on. Let me just say one thing. The thing is, it's like you guys are looking at it as in the trilogy. I'm looking at it as a timeline, as what the Spider-Man as what age he was and everything that happened in terms of age. He was, so I'm assuming he's in this movie he's supposed to be 17, 18, turning 18, pretty much going off to college. So you're talking about a Spider-Man that was 17, 16, 15 throughout the whole trilogy, throughout like the Avengers. So you're looking at a child growing up, and he doesn't know how to be Spider-Man. That's the whole point. It's like the whole point of introducing these villains and bringing the old Spider-Man is to teach them, you need to grow up, and this is how you grow up. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I look at it this way: the original Spider-Man, they didn't show Spider-Man and they didn't introduce Spider-Man as a child at all. He was 17/18 years old, and then his uncle died, and that's when he's like, I have to actually take responsibility and I have to become a man. So this guy was like, what, a kid? This guy from the beginning, he was a kid, and he became Spider-Man.
Don't worry, I'm with you, yes.
So Joe, you want to say something, Joe?
Yeah, like, and funny enough, Tobey Maguire was already like in his 30s, and he was playing like a high school kid.
That was funny.
You know what's funny
Same
about
Andrew.
that? When like whatever, like when I was a kid watching those movies, I actually didn't see what was wrong with it because I couldn't tell their age by looking at their faces. Yeah. It was as I started growing up and getting into movie reviews and this, I started knowing who these actors were, and it's like this dude was a grown-ass man playing like my age. But however, the thing is, I agree with Yasir, which is you guys aren't accepting the fact that he is a kid. Now, when you're a kid and you're in school, there is this thing that they joke about, which is street smart, and book smart. So you can actually be an A-level student, like a genius level student, and still be stupid on anything that's not about science and math. That's actually possible. In fact, that's even most likely, because a lot of times those kind of kids live very sheltered and so on and so forth. So one thing where you guys didn't consider is this is the first time they had a very young actor that's actually capable of being on Spider-Man for more than 20 years and still looking the part. So they basically could act out like two trilogies and still have him be there for the main trilogies or when he reaches maturity. So even if they've acted out 3 movies, he's still not even got to college, which is when Toby's began or whatever, and Andrews began too. So there's still time. But where I disagree with Yasia is this: just because he's stupid, that doesn't like excuse the other atrocities of the movie. So he's stupid and the choices he made could be excused, but the choices in the overall writing of the script are way more than making decisions. Like for example, just randomly, they left the lizard in like a truck. They just left him like
no. Okay, to be fair, that can be explained by the fact that both the Sandman and the Lizard actors, they could only do voice work. They couldn't get them back. So I can understand where like they needed the villains, they couldn't get them back, but they could get the actors back for Green Goblin, but not them.
No, that's not what I'm saying, bro. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to explain is, what's his name? Tom Holland as Peter Parker is a child, so he's making dumb decisions. Which wise ass left a grown ass lizard inside of a random truck? Like, how does that make it? Like, he's not like put down in any way, not behind iron bars.
No. I mean, but I think this is why I really didn't have any issues with all of the inconsistency in this film, because you have to accept what MCU is. MCU is vibes. It's not.
Bro, you know what's even crazy? It's not just about the MCU. It's for this movie in particular. Like the MCU are actually capable of writing a perfectly coherent script.
Bro.
It's a situation of
the Captain America Winter Soldier.
For this movie to exist, they had to do a lot of mental gymnastics, bro.
Oh yeah,
Think of this. This is what I'm saying. Like, Holland is a kid, or Peter Parker is a kid, right? So why then was Doctor Strange, who's supposed to be supreme, like he's supposed to be supreme, like the most experienced Avenger probably on Earth right now, why did he just agree to do the spell immediately he was told? Like, they just told him, like, bro, just change the timeline. I was like, all right, let's do it. Just come on, just come phone me down to the sanctum, and we'll just do the spell. Like, he didn't even ask any questions. He wasn't like, do you know what this means? You know what? He didn't even have a conversation where it was like ironing out the details and telling, just a simple conversation of, once we do this, we can't do this. And if we do this, this will be the consequence.
It's like, you want to change the whole timeline? Oh, sure, let's go.
That's the point. You know something else? Like, from the first Tobey Maguire movies, actually, the Goblin wasn't the most imposing villain face to face with Spider-Man. He was actually the weakest if you compare him to what Dr. Ock did to him and what the Sandman and Venom did to him. But in this movie, for the fact that they needed the Goblin to have the main role, which he did knock out of the park, the others had to take a backseat. And so someone like Sandman posed less of a difficulty to Spider-Man than the Goblin. Like, just think about that for a second. Because in the final movie, Sandman literally almost killed him. He pummeled him into
the issue I have with the Sandman thing, Sodium's Option, is that it also, well, some of it is obviously like logistical because of the fact they couldn't get those actors back. So you do have to kind of write within that script. So I think you can give people a pass in that respect. So you can't do much. What I would say about Sandman, though, and where the confusion sometimes is that I got the impression in watching Sandman that he was yanked in a point in time where him and Pete had reconciled.
Exactly.
At the beginning of the movie, it's like, I'm here to protect you. So then it's like then afterwards, towards the end of the movie, you're like, he's now right. I'm now turning against. I'm like, wait, what happened? Why are you now suddenly a villain again? Like I thought you and Peter were good because that's why you protected Peter at the beginning of the movie. So I know you daughter, but
Red Marvel. Red Marvel. I Red Devil, Red Marvel. I mean, you have was it Magpie Studio? There's like 3 of you guys, man.
Hold on.
Because I want to get some guys on this because Jay Gassy, man. You want to go for
Yeah, actually, I got a really short memory. What was I trying to chime in on? I was trying to chime in on the fact that
basically we're talking about the quality of the films and the different concessions being made and him being too young. And I said that's because he's too young doesn't indicate that this has not been a strong trilogy because he's not been Spider-Man, he's been Iron Man's boy. And it's too late for him to be Spider-Man in the 3rd film. So
I don't think it's too late for him to be Spider-Man or too late for him to grow up in this film. The reason being is kind of on what Yasser Saeed said. Every single Spider-Man, well, the previous 2 Spider-Mans before grew up when their person died.
Yes, Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben and double whammy for Andrew Garfield. He couldn't save Gwen, right? Mm-hmm. So he became a man right then. Tom Holland, he's so young an actor that he didn't have to become a man even in this movie, right?
Exactly.
He's dealing with things that matter to people at that age. Like getting into university is massive for one person, but now the fate of your best friend's success is on you again. And he doesn't want to see his friends go through that. I mean, that's what a 16, 17, 18-year-old would think at that age. So given the resources he has, i.e. Doctor Strange, he's like, I wonder if I can fix this. And then of course he fucks it up or messes it up when he starts complicating the spell. Doctor Strange was perfectly fine with letting everybody forget he was Spider-Man until he messed it up. So it's not like Doctor Strange didn't think it through. There's no danger if Peter doesn't mess it up.
Thank you.
If the risk is that the whole universe falls apart, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to tell the person that.
Professor, what was the question? What was the request? What did Spider-Man ask Doctor Strange? He said,
to forget people.
Yes.
Yeah.
At first he wanted to go back in time, and then Doctor Strange said, no, we can't go back in time. I don't have the time stone.
Yeah, exactly. Just to make people forget. And it was mid-spell that Spider-Man was not trying to ask, oh no, actually exclude this guy. And he had to change the spell like 5 or 6 times. That's what messed it up.
Exactly. That's what messed it up. Not Doctor Strange trying to help him. That wasn't the mistake.
But that's the point, though. Like, guys, it's a point of him growing up. It's a whole point of him growing up.
But this is
becoming Spider-Man. Hold on. Let me say
wait. Yeah, let Yasser pop of them.
Okay, go on.
I feel like when I say him, this is him growing up, you know, and this is also that theme and that question: can you be Spider-Man, and can you live a normal life? That was the whole point. Like the reason why at the end.
Yes, there's one thing about he's a kid growing up and everything. There's another thing about how good are these films. And my issue is it's nothing to do with you're a kid. No, cool. I think it's a good idea based off what Garfield and Maguire did. Say, well, let's see him as a kid. No, that's a great idea. I thought that was a great idea. But yes, I'll be real with you. The best we've seen of Spider-Man was in Civil War. The best Spider-Man I've seen on screen was
the one who trolls like his opponents, the one who's messing around.
Sorry, wait, Jackass, what's it?
Why do you think that in Civil War we saw the best?
No. Can I say about that? Because he's having fun beating his opponents. He's messing around. He's just a kid fighting villains.
You see, my thing is, you see, it depends on how you want to view who Spider-Man was. Why that was so good was, is Spider-Man. It's a teenager who is young and so forth and so forth. And now, because he has powers, he's almost what Barry says. He's sort of like accepting his past and he's mocking his opponents and he's having fun in a higher octane situation, and he gets on the nerves of his villains. So when he just saw the kind of vibe he brought into Civil War, I thought we'd see that. So we saw a little bit of that when he sees the bank robbers in Homecoming, but afterwards, because of the MCU and because of the MCU,
that's true. I agree with that.
You have to throw in Iron Man. You've got to throw you've got to throw in Avengers. You've got to throw. Oh, he has to wear the Iron Man suit because. And the issue with these movies is, you can't watch these films in and of themselves.
They're episodes.
Connected.
Yeah,
they can't in a vacuum. So my thing is like, it's not to do with him being young. My issue is because I just watched Amazing Spider-Man 1. I was like, oh yeah, this is his film. Homecoming, was that really his film? Or was that a hybrid of him and Iron Man?
No, I agree.
Wait, hold up. Far From Home, was that really his film? Or still him trying to now fill off the views of him as Iron Man and dealing with the loss of Iron Man? No Way Home, was that really his film? Or a combo of him, Doctor Strange, Andrew Garfield, and Thingy? You see,
this is like
I think that's. Can I say something about that?
Okay, Barrett.
Yeah, because when I saw Homecoming, I didn't have an issue before, like when Tony Stark was trying to teach him, because like there was no Uncle Ben, so in some way he needed that figure who could teach him and help him to develop as a person and as a man. But like when Tony died in the Endgame, I was like, maybe we're gonna see more evolution of the character and everything. I don't have an issue where like Tom Holland or Peter Parker is young and everything. I have no issue with that. I'm having an issue where like, even though Tony is dead, Peter is like, he's still his lapdog. They're always mentioning Iron Man, and I don't like that, because Spider-Man, like, I thought he was gonna be like the figure of the MCU when Tony Stark died, but like they're always trying to mention him in the movies. Yes, and in No Way Home, like I didn't knew that like the other two Spider-Man, because I tried to avoid spoilers and social media, and I'm like, if these two Spider-Men are there, like, they're not going to talk about Tom Holland. They're going to mention about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
So that's
It's almost like, hold on. It's almost like, for Homecoming, you see, this is the issue I have about this whole him growing up. What was the moral of Homecoming? Okay, he's trying to actually step up to be an Avenger and whatnot, but then he fought the Vulture and he said, "No, I want to be neighborhood Spider-Man." Okay, fine. Then Far From Home, Tony died. That was your mentor. That was kind of like his Uncle Ben. You saw how he pained him and whatnot. I thought that was where he was going to grow up and whatnot. But the guy wanted to go on vacation and chill out and whatnot. So, like, exactly. So that's the thing that made no sense to me, because it was like, that was meant to be his growing up situation. He was supposed to take the reins and actually be
and also, Gatlock, the key thing is that when in a trilogy, your part 2 is when things really change.
Yeah.
Because look at Empire Strikes Back. Look at Spider-Man 2. Look at the Dark Knight. Look at Winter Soldier. In a trilogy, your part 2 is where things really change. Bro,
part 2 is supposed to be the best movie.
No, guys, here's the thing though.
Let me stand
go ahead.
One thing. The reason why I think part of this confusion is actually how the first part of the movie was handled. Because for me, at the end of the second movie, when the best part, when Mysterio's like, "This is Peter Parker," like, whoa, okay, so we're now going to see, and I thought from the trailers, we're going to see the real aftermath from him, his identity being revealed, maybe the threat to Aunt May, whatever. Yep. And at the end of the day, it was the way it was dealt with was like, it was quite rushed, and the way it was dealt with was like, okay, so this guy is basically being accused of murder, his identity is revealed, surely there are going to be significant negative consequences. And it was like, ultimately, I can't get into MIT.
Yeah,
and I appreciate, I appreciate that, yes, he's a citizen, I get that. But at the same time, it's like, whoa, where's that coming from?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, are you going to Siberia or something?
Bro, it's not me. It's not me, bro.
Somebody
It's not Yasin was about to take off.
Bro, it's not me.
Someone is on it. Someone is on the runway.
Raw.
Someone
God
is
damn.
on the well being on the runway. That I heard.
That was loud. Wow.
I heard a jumbo jet take off.
Yo, that might have been me. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the MCU. It's MCU. It's MCU.
So just to round up. So part of what we're saying, essential point is that if they had handled that differently and they had used that, because that was the time when they could have used that as a means to grow to grow. Aunt May's death, yeah, fair enough, but that could have been used to grow Peter Parker to address the things that we're talking about. But really, they ended up just basically minimizing that whole revelation. The fact that he's Peter Parker, the fact that it looks like he killed Mysterio. It's like, well, wait a minute, what? So is he just now? If someone in real life is accused of murdering someone and everyone sees it, okay, yes, Matt Murdock is a good lawyer, but like, do they just kind of, oh yeah, shrug, okay, no big deal, fine, you're okay, go to Doctor. There was no real that area wasn't explored.
Red Marvel. Here's a problem I have with that. Here's a problem I have with that.
You know the reason, the key thing is there was a really good trilogy here. If these guys weren't about let's do the multiverse and all that kind of stuff, how it's supposed to go is you find out he's Spider-Man, his villains now know he's on the run, and Aunt May now dies because people now know who he is. So then that makes part 2 hold sway. But
bro, what
happened at the end of part 2 had no bearing on part 3. Nothing.
Exactly.
Because the whole
it was
thing
an entire new continent, man.
Bro, you know what would have
but the end of
solid? Imagine if someone like Craven finds out the identity of the Spider.
That'd be tough.
Now actually goes for him.
Or the Punisher.
But
here's a problem.
Wait, hold on, because it's shots. Ibs.
Nah, but the end of part 2, you see the end of it, Mysterio finds out that he exposes him that it's Peter Parker. Then in the first part of part 3, they just do that magic trick, and now no one knows who he is. So they kind of skip over that whole part in the first part of the movie. Yeah. That's why I didn't like it. I preferred the second half was a lot better.
Because Ibs,
the first half of it, they skipped over Daredevil. They never really went through his case or what the police were doing.
Because if you watch the trilogy again, as Marvel just said, that ending of part 2 means nothing. Again, look at what happened at the end of Winter Soldier. At the end of Winter Soldier, Cap was like, bro, these SHIELD guys have been watched, but these guys are compromised. And the ending of Winter Soldier bleeds into Civil War. Because in Civil War, Captain America's like, bro, I can't roll with these Avengers. I've got to roll with the anti-government. Yeah. So Winter Soldier bleeds into and affects the events of Civil War. It's fully
nowadays they're not doing that. Before, like earlier on in the MCU films, they used to roll into one. Like they used to connect. There used to be a link. But I feel like the Spider-Man films is just one. It doesn't have that much of a link. The first one's about Iron Man. The second one's about Mysterio.
No, because the issue is, guys, this thing. You know what? I said because I'm not talking box office. I said 800 mil tops. Bro, this thing is going to make it.
I was laughing when I was watching your review. You're joking. It's most likely already crossed 800.
Joe, I was like, bro, it's a pandemic. 800
gonna do a bill, man.
People love Spider-Man, dog.
Nah, it's not about
bill. It's if it
makes 2.
Wait, guys. Imagine if we're not in a pandemic. Bro, you know that this thing
for sure.
2 bill. If there's not a pandemic, it's almost 2 bill.
No, bro, it could still make 2 bill right now.
Nah.
HH, can I say something real quick, guys?
Wait.
Yes, I might forget. Yeah.
Before you go, let me just hit
this. Go
ahead. Your boy Vegeta says Vegeta, Gohan, and Broly versus Hulk, Spider-Man, and Venom. Which team wins?
Yo, Vegeta and Broly are washing.
Nah, Vegeta, Broly. Get out of here.
Yo, Vegeta and Broly, they're washing Spider-Man and Venom.
Yes, it's done out. It's done out.
Let's keep it okay. Venom, okay, strong. Spider-Man is agile. Hulk. Wait, let's talk about
Hulk is a clown in MCU.
What about the
man.
Hulk in the comics,
MCU or comics?
Thank
No.
MCU. Okay, it depends.
Left Thanos in the comics.
Are you really gonna try to web up Vegeta?
Hulk is getting washed.
Yeah,
bro.
Hulk was one of my favorite.
Bro, do you want it to be real?
Dude.
No. Get rid of Gohan and Broly. If Vegeta turns into like Ultra Instinct, he's washing all three of them.
That's what I'm saying. It's over.
I don't know.
It depends on the version of
No. If Vegeta turns into his maximum level, he's washing all.
It depends on the
I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing is, the thing with the Hulk, where you're always like, okay, I don't know, because like his power is derived from constantly being angry. So the thing with Vegeta, I think Goku beats Hulk. The thing with Vegeta is Vegeta with his pride will always piss off the Hulk. And by definition, that will always make the Hulk angry, which will make him strong. So I think that because Vegeta will eventually lose his chi stamina, the Hulk will be so angry that he'll be able to...
But my thing though is that Vegeta is a better fighter. So because Hulk is just all strength and power. Vegeta is he's a warrior. So because he's a warrior, and if I'm always going to go with a more skilled warrior than...
It depends which Hulk we're talking about. If we're talking about World Breaker Hulk, then I think World Breaker Hulk is a different case entirely.
Yeah, but we're dealing with Broly too.
If it's MCU Hulk, that guy's a bitch.
It's not MCU Hulk. MCU Hulk is...
If it's World Breaker Hulk that basically just destroyed the entire like Marvel universe because he was so angry from what I mean, it's in the comics. It's pretty good. Right?
Seriously. Comics need to chill. You don't have to do it in the comics. This is why I say to guys like, people say, but it's the comics. Do you know that they have to release a comic every single month? So in the comics, I think Joker had superpowers. I think Joker was immortal because they have to keep on releasing stories. So not everything in the comics makes sense. Some of the stuff is stupid. So
imagine Eclipso in the MCU.
So they say, Steven, I told him so. Multiverse, I'm the real.
Oh, Wong, man.
Wong. Every time shit is going down, you always leave. So I don't count you out, man.
You see, Asian people may not like me to say this, but I'm actually saying this to actually in support of it. Every time they show Wong, he's walking, he's leaving.
You know he died in Doctor Strange, right? You guys are forgetting. This dude died. In Doctor Strange until he turned back time in that movie that he died.
The way they've done Wong, man. The way they've done Wong is messed up.
I actually hate
Wong knows what's up. If you could be in anywhere on the earth just by opening a portal, wouldn't you be like traveling like Wong?
No. But I mean,
you know he's the Sorcerer Supreme, right? Wong. He's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah,
don't you remember when Spider-Man first came in? He said that he was Sorcerer Supreme because Strange got clipped for 5 years.
Yeah.
The hell, man.
Wait. Actually, but guys, I mean, bro, here's the thing, because I've just been on Twitter, and guys be like No Way Home. Okay, perfect thing. Because I actually want to do like a ranking. Maybe me and Marvel, I think we should do like a top 5, top 10 MCU films ranked and so forth.
Yeah.
You see, I'll be real with you. No Way Home.
That should be an open hangout, man.
No. HH. You can't do a ranking because we all know your top 3 will be Captain America 3, Captain America 1.
It's true though. The best trilogy. That's the best trilogy.
Nah, man.
It's that. Which does No Way Home come close to any of those Cap films?
No. As a movie.
No. Let's be real. Guardians of the Galaxy 1. So was it? Guardians of the Galaxy 1 watches all of these Spidey films.
No,
I don't even. I actually think Guardians of the Galaxy is overrated. It's the most overrated Marvel movie.
Even Iron Man 1's better than all of these Spider-Man films.
Yes.
I feel Doctor Strange, the movie was underrated. At least that was his movie.
It's like it.
I
didn't like Doctor Strange. I didn't like Doctor Strange.
Nah, I like it.
I think.
Oh wait.
I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know anything about him until the movie, so maybe that's probably why.
We didn't discuss the last bits where you see the 3 Spider-Mans. That was one of my favorite scenes. Then you have the Green Goblin versus Tom Holland, which was one of my favorite scenes. We didn't talk about Zendaya at the end with the.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, no.
master.
Basically, those three, like, you see, this is the issue with this film.
No. But
let me just play. See, the issue with this film is this: is that this film is vibes.
Yeah,
it's not a good film. Specifically, if you watch this film, yes, Tom Holland, he gave his best performance, but this film is the film's core is the three Spider-Men. It's the novelty of the three Spider-Men and Green Goblin. And guys,
and the villains,
what is so funny? And this is what I said to Marvel. Who was the best villain? Goblin. Where's he from? He's from 2002. So a villain from 2002 in another universe is probably the best. No, is the best villain in the whole of the MCU.
He was also the villain that actually.
Hold on. How about what's this guy's name? Zemo. Zemo was a great villain.
Zemo was awesome.
He orchestrated the whole shit, man.
No, Zemo wasn't evil. He was like an antagonist. But again, he had a point and agenda. He wasn't evil. Bro.
It's not one or the other.
Guys, can I say something real quickly before I forget?
The main issue with this movie or this trilogy specifically is Iron Boy turning into Spider-Man. It's not Spider-Man himself. It's Iron Boy we're talking about. That's the main issue.
But then, like, you guys don't movie for him to do that.
The problem is, let's be honest. The problem is this universe have too many superheroes. They have the whole Avengers in this universe. That's the problem.
You guys are wait. Let community change after yes.
The one character that really annoyed me throughout the whole movie, and because he was one of my favorite characters in the whole Spider-Man, is the news guy. That guy, because if people don't know Spider-Man, this guy is such an important character is because there's a relationship with him and Peter Parker because Peter Parker worked for him. He worked for him on a daily. He was guy that got the pictures of the Spider-Man for that guy. So him and Peter Parker actually, especially in the animated version, they had a very strong relationship. But in this universe, it's weird because him and Peter Parker don't have no relationship whatsoever. So when he finds but it means because the thing is, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm nostalgic. But for me, yes, you could say like a super villain. You could say Venom and Goblin. But in terms of Peter Parker, the guy that give him the hardest good time is the news guy because he was always.
I guarantee
that's the point. That's why we love the guy because he's accurate. And one more thing. One thing I don't understand is I thought this guy was a newspaper dude, not a blogger. TV guy that pops up on the TV.
I think they're trying to make it relatable to the times.
He's taken from the video game, so they took.
I guarantee you, like the next movie,
they try to copy.
When Peter Parker goes into MIT, he gets a part-time as a. That's one thing I'll say. Like this movie. Wow, with all of its flaws, there are two things it achieved. Massive things. The first thing is it's the ultimate like payoff fan service movie for all the Spider-Man.
Sure.
Previous. I agree.
Exactly.
It's wrapped up their stories perfectly.
Exactly.
Now, if you want to choose to continue with Andrew, because like Maguire seems washed. Like if you want to choose to continue with Andrew, you could choose to continue, but their stories are wrapped up. Now, it also.
Oh wait, are they actually doing that? That's the Amazing Spider-Man.
They want Tom Hardy's Venom in Andrew Garfield's
exactly. And it does fit in with those kind of crappy villains in the Andrew universe.
They messed up Venom too. Let's be real, guys. They messed up Venom. I love the Venom.
So it also wraps up this arc of baby Iron Man. It wraps up and concludes this arc of baby Iron Man. And what that does do is it now opens up the universe for Spider-Man. You see, you complained he was Iron Man's side piece. That's no more. You complained he wasn't a guy. He wasn't a guy. He was a kid. That's no more. You complain, he doesn't know J.K. Simmons. I can guarantee you he's working the Daily Bugle, the next movie. You complain he doesn't have his Venom, he doesn't have villains, and so on. I guarantee you the Venom is coming to someone next movie. That's probably the post-credit scene. Probably it's wrapping Peter, the next movie's post-credit scene. And then also what it does is it has now given Peter a secret identity for the first time.
Yep, true.
For the first time, this Peter Parker, nobody knows who he is. He doesn't know MJ. They meet for the first time. Look, they could even give him his own Gwen Stacy for the meantime. Whilst he's still like figuring out if he's ever going to know MJ again, he could do his own Gwen Stacy stuff. They can introduce Eddie Brock, like maybe like some kind of old MMA guy.
No.
Can I ask a question? Hold on. Can I ask a brief question?
Well, Eddie's not in the universe.
My thing, Joe,
Venom was left behind.
my thing, Joe, though, is at this stage the key question: who does Sony now retain full control, or do they retain a partnership?
Never. It's not possible.
Because Sony can be like, whoa, this
Sony can't be like anything.
$1 billion? Because Amy Pascal can be like, Marvel, thanks. See ya. Cool.
She can't. That's the thing. She can't.
Hold on.
No.
They have the rights.
You can, but you can't. It's not about the right. It's about your godfather. So Marvel literally gave them the into this stuff. Like, look, they were adrift at sea, bro. After them, Andrew.
No. But they don't.
Yeah, but the thing is, professors, that they need the it's a symbiotic relationship, because at the end of the day, Sony at any point can be like, well, we saw that, like, we are allowing you to use Spider-Man as the MCU.
No, I'm not
Spider-Man
saying that.
is the most popular character. So as far
they will remain together. Like they will remain together.
They
like,
will, yeah.
At this point, nobody's trying to mess up anything, and also they're in too deep. Like the universes are too tied, too intertwined at this point.
And whatever you say about Venom, because the thing is, it has paid off, because whatever you say about Venom made bank. Both the first and the second movie both made bank, and that's because of that tie, that MCU tie they have. So for as far as Sony is concerned, like, yeah, okay, fine. We'll keep our characters separate in our particular universe, but we'll tease that connection, because we're gonna sponge up. We're gonna make money from that. That's the price you pay for having Spider-Man in your MC universe. And
wait, let me come to Jay Cassie, because you wanted to speak, Jay Cassie.
Yeah. So, HH, I really, really love the MCU. I've watched every single film maybe 3-4 times. Whether that's healthy or not, I don't know. But my whole thing that scares me with this universe, and especially now with Spider-Man being really established, is that soon we will have a superhero literally on every corner. Like, I'm talking about Spider-Man. They're going to bring in the X-Men. You're going to bring in Blade. And every single movie is going to introduce somebody else as well. And it's just going to become so convoluted. And back to what you said earlier about Spider-Man not actually having his own movie and being like Spider-Man's Iron Man's bitch and all that shit. Like, that's gonna happen again to another character, because the universe is so dense with superheroes. So that's what scares me.
Okay, so you're saying that you feel that they're gonna bring in Daredevil, Kingpin, maybe even Punisher and so forth in Tom Holland's next 3 films.
Not in Tom Holland's, maybe in the next Marvel films. And then, by the time we get to another Spider-Man film, so many people are going to be in it.
No. My thing is, this has made so much money. See, people, they feel of, oh, is this what guys like? Because see, after Endgame, I was like, bro,
anything can happen.
It was a good run, nice one. You did everything and that. But this is what I knew, but I forgot. I said that, bro, do you realize that Amazing Spider-Man 2, crap, horrible film. You know, it made $700 million at the box office.
Almost 800.
Yeah.
Wait, Spider-Man is still the dad. That's why I said Spider-Man is the most popular comic book character. He's more popular than Batman and Superman.
For sure.
Not really.
Yeah, but
Spider-Man is the most popular character. Facts. And this proves it. You can make a crap Spider-Man film and still make 700 mil.
Yeah,
now, imagine if you make a quality. Bro, this thing is about to make $1 billion.
Wait, but you said the Dark Knight was trash, right?
Be honest. Be
and
honest,
it made it above $1 billion. So what you say?
HH, be honest. Be honest. If Toby and Garfield weren't in this movie, would you have went and watched it?
No.
Exactly. That's the worrying trend. Let me finish, Joe. You've spoken a lot. That's the worrying trend. Yeah, that's the worrying trend with these MCU movies, is that they're bringing in all these different characters into one movie. And with this worrying trend, just like well, in the same movie.
No, keep talking.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading that. I was reading that because there's a new Batman movie coming out soon as well. One sec.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, no, I think maybe because Azim Chainsaw's listening, but just to carry on, essentially, up his point, I think what was essentially trying to say is like the worrying trend that we're seeing Marvel is that like this kind of, yes, it's good to see references and Easter eggs to different things. I like that, it's cool, but you still have to be able to tell the hero just has to allow the movie to stand on its own 2 feet. And it's like, sorry, go on, Chainsaw, finish your point,
Yeah, and that's the problem with Tom Holland movies, is that in none of the movies he's been the main guy or the guy who he's meant to be, if that makes sense.
And that's going to happen to more and more characters.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
See, my thing is, this is the thing. See, my first comic book movie was Batman in 1989. You can watch Batman 1989 without watching any other thing, because that's
is it the Keaton movies?
Keaton.
Cool.
See, that film has a beginning, middle, end. Boom, finished, total, done. And that film can exist forever, because you can watch that film in a vacuum. You can't watch an MCU movie by itself, because this MCU, they're not films, they are episodes. So as you watch it, you're like, wait, who is this guy? What's he talking about? Oh, what's he referring to? Or what's it about? Or what has happened here? Because everything, bro, that was my biggest issue with Infinity War. Infinity War, you just see Thanos out of nowhere. I'm like, whoa, wait. Introduce him. Tell us who's about, but it just assumes you've seen the other 20 other films already before. And because this has made so much money, guys, it's going to be a party. Bro, when X-Men come, and you know they're going to be Fantastic Four again. Bro, X-Men have like 7-8 guys. So they're going to have X-Men. They're going to have Fantastic Four. Yeah. Now Daredevil. Yeah. Now Punisher. It's going to,
that's exactly my point.
It's gonna make money, but I don't think it'll be as good.
But my question is, will that stop you from enjoying the films?
Oh, for me, you see, Jake, I'll be real with you. See, No Way Home isn't good. It's like it's like a weird novelty nostalgia trip. If you break it down, bro, wait, why do you have 3 Spider-Men in one film? This guy hasn't even been able to be a hero, but yet he's having 2 other guys come through, fight like 4 or 5 villains. It's not a film. Like it's this is madness, but because it's like, oh, it's Goblin and so forth, it's just a cool experience. But strictly as a film, like this is madness.
I also think you could make a case that, you know, and like I said, I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a good movie, and I for the most nostalgia payoff enough. So for that, as well as a few other symbolic things, like the fact that, as Chainsaw mentioned, the redemption of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man to Maguire's, I think was solid enough for me. But what I would say though is that I think that this part of the problem is that post Endgame, Stage 4, there really hasn't been a movie that has really popped off or generated hype or been solid since sort of this. You know, whether it's the Spider-Man had Spider-Man No Way Home, which was kind of okay. Sorry, far away from it, which was okay. Then you had Shang-Chi, okay. The TV series is, you know, hit or miss. Then you had Eternals, which was bad. So really, to be honest, you know,
Eternals trash.
You know, Eternals is garbage. You know, so
was
so
it really that bad?
This movie's the only one you're like, okay. So I guess my point to make is that like the level of quality of movie of Phase 4 in quotes has not been good compared to previous phases.
I like Shang-Chi, man.
Because
because so my one point is that like so I guess what I'm saying is I wonder if, for example, the quality of movie had been like a Phase 1 or maybe a Phase 3, because I didn't think Phase 2 was that great, but Phase 1 and Phase 3 quality level movie, would people still view Spider-Man No Way Home as high as it was, or are we viewing it highly solely because of the nostalgia or because the quality of Phase 4 movies in the last 2 or 3 years has not been particularly good? That's what I'm trying to say.
Before nostalgia. That's great. Let me just hit this job. That's great. Let me just hit this job, and then I want to answer that. So your boy Vegeta, man, thank you for the job. The strongest version of Vegeta can be scaled to Xeno Goku. This version of Goku was able to beat a guy who can destroy an infinite multiversal. Watch and play SDBH and read the manga, and you will know how OP he is.
No, I'm telling you, like characters from movies, they ain't beating these manga anime type of characters. Like it's done out, bro.
When you deal with Japan and so forth, bro.
No,
I was watching an episode of Dragon Ball Z. I don't know whether it was Goku or Vegeta. Their Kamehameha, it's filled the entire screen. The fireball, I think they destroyed, like, these guys destroy planets. Walls. So I told you, when you see Japan just take things to a whole other extreme, man, and so forth. But you see, it's very interesting what Marvel said is that Phase 4 has been awful. Crap. WandaVision was trash. Loki was trash, but had an interesting final thingy. Falcon and Winter Soldier was cool, but Falcon is a trash Captain America that I'll never support. All because he's black doesn't mean I have to support him. Eternals was crap. Shang-Chi was cool, but with a horrible ending. Horrible ending. Cool, but horrible ending. No Way Home, I think that whether Phase 4 was good or bad, it still hits because of the Maguire, Garfield, Green Goblin thing. Because it was such a novelty thing. Because it was such a novelty thing, it hits. So it was always going to make this massive thing. But when I look at people's reviews, I think it's a combination of the pandemic and so forth that it arrived at the perfect time. So guys are going to watch this film like 6, 7, 8 times because of the pandemic. Because people have been waiting for something just to uplift them and so forth, and a reason to go out into the cinema. So guys don't care about freaking Omicron. Like what? Omicron, Megatron, Optimus Prime, who cares? They're going to that cinema 6, 7 times to watch this thing with or without that Transformer variant. So
bro, currently like this movie box office is like 813 million something. Like this shit is
it's broke some records. Yeah.
No, did you know what?
Yeah, they already broke the post-pandemic.
It's breaking $1 billion this weekend.
No. See, what scares me is no, guys, think about this. What if there was no COVID at all?
Oh boy.
So literally, because remember, it's making 800 mil, and older people obviously ain't going to the cinema to watch it, or people who maybe they're not going. So imagine if you had all the older people, everybody who was not worried about COVID, going in, bro. This thing is going to $1 billion.
Yeah. And you know the other thing is, it's like it's not everybody who has social media, because in the trailer you see like when Lizard gets punched and everything. Like it's not everybody who has Twitter, IG. Like most like everybody here has social media, so they don't know that Maguire or Andrew Garfield is in the film. So that's what I think.
You see, Barry, which is why, because you know, in the second trailer there was an argument between Sony and Marvel, because I don't know who it was. One of them wanted to have, and I bet it was probably Sony, wanted to have Maguire and Thingy in the trailer, and they said no, let's keep it.
Not first surprise to the people.
Not smart, because as you said, bro, Twitter is a freaking microcosm. Most people aren't on Twitter. So for most people, they'll go and say, wait, what the hell is my Maguire doing in this bloody film? They didn't have that. So that moment of seeing Maguire and the way it was done and how emotional it was.
It must have been a great moment.
Christmas. It is the perfect film for this time. So, bro, this film is going to make, this thing. Because whatever this film makes, it always be, imagine what it would make not in a pandemic. So for this film to make like $1 billion, in a pandemic is frightening. It's frightening, you know, which goes to show you that, like, guys, see, this is what I've always said is that, guys, Spider-Man is that dude. He's that dude. The reason why Spider-Man is that dude is this. Joe, you said Dark Knight. Do you know that they had to re-release Dark Knight for it to make $1 billion?
Dark Knight is overrated.
I
like Dark Knight.
So, and also my thing is that, see, Spider-Man will always appeal to the kid. Every kid coming through will always gravitate towards Spider-Man. See, Superman is washed. Let's keep it real. The guy's washed. You know,
Superman's annoying.
Like, see, Batman is cool because kids will like the gadgets and so forth. But Spider-Man, he's a kid and he's exciting.
He's relatable. He's relatable to
Well, I would say, sorry, in defense to Superman, please, if you go to and watch the recent Superman and Lois.
It is a good series. It is a good.
That's
series.
actually really, really good. That's one of the best Superman series I've seen. Portrayal
Man
in
of
ages.
Steel is better than all the MCU movies. Fight me.
Can you drop a break if you can? Can you drop a break?
I don't have
a drop a break.
I wish I could. Actually, I could. Wait, what kind of non? Excuse me?
What? Joe, did
I
you?
will fight my way.
A big break.
Man of crap.
I will fight my way out of this academy, bro.
Bro, Joe, that film is garbage. That's a
No, it's my favorite comic book ever.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
No, the first half of it was good because it was done by Christopher Nolan. The first half of it was good.
I enjoyed that.
All that stuff. No, basically, the Krypton section, quality.
Bro, there's nothing you can tell me about that movie. You're wasting your time. Now, BVS and the whole Zack Snyder's vision is garbage. I understand. Like I was one of those. You see, okay, I'm supposed to have said this from the beginning. I grew up a DC fan. Like, and I didn't know about Marvel for a long time. I only knew Spider-Man, but I didn't know about Marvel for a long time. So I basically was a DC head. And then coming into like the movies, DC was the one releasing movies for so long until Marvel came along and they absolutely changed the game and we've been in the mud. So the truth is, I can, no matter how much I love a Marvel movie, I can never really completely be in love with the MCU because there's always that part of me that goes, but your boys are in the dirt.
Bro, Joe, that's very different. I get that, but that's very different than saying that Man of Steel is the best comic book.
Oh, no. That's the preamble. That's the preamble. But then I actually do like Man of Steel. Like the rest of the DCU is garbage, I know. But Man of Steel, maybe we could make another comic because I'm like,
Wow.
No,
relax.
I mean, I
get
know
that
it's an everything, but
revoke,
bro,
man.
that's put it like, you see, my thing is, look, you see, MCU is MCU, and MCU will always do MCU. Hence why, you know, all its criticisms that we brought up, I didn't have an issue because I'm like, I know what the MCU is. It's a conveyor belt, it's Disney, and it's just, hey, let's just make something that's fun. And people love the stuff. So all these inconsistencies doesn't mean anything because MCU is about vibes. For some reason, those Captain America films just slipped through the crack. So, because for some reason, those Captain America films, they don't feel like they're connected to the MCU. They just feel like, oh, somehow you made 3 really good films. Like, bro, that's ending to Civil War. That isn't Disney. When you just look at the drama,
I don't know who wrote the story for that. Who wrote the story for that? Because I feel like it's a completely different person.
Yeah, like I think it was called Stephen McFeely and Christopher Marcus.
Yeah, I feel like it's a completely different person.
Wasn't that Russo brothers?
No, it was Russo brothers, bro.
No, he said who wrote it.
I'm pretty sure
who wrote it? Because it feels like a completely different movie when you compare it to all the other MCU.
Basically, I think it's called Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. So they wrote First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. So,
are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know about that. I thought it was a
So
I'm pretty sure, like they wrote some and directed some themselves.
No. The Russos directed those 3 films, Infinity War and Thingy, and they always used those same 2 writers. So, Christopher Marcus, Stephen McFeely. So they wrote the 3 Cap films. They wrote Infinity War and they wrote Endgame. So the key thing is the writing. See, people always forget this. It's basically the director, the actors. Always look at who is writing it. And the reason why those Cap films are so good is the same writers who wrote a good, tight, concise story for all those 3 films. So when you look at Captain America, I'm like that's why those are the only now someone my co-worker gave me Guardians of the Galaxy as a birthday present. So that was given to me.
Trash.
But the only Marvel films, the only MCU movies I've bought are the Cap films. Because those are quality films. Everything else, is just nothing. And my thing with Spider-Man is like, it's weird. Yes, Andrew Garfield is the best actor, and he showed it in this movie. Because Andrew Garfield, I just thought he out-acted both of them easily. Like Tobey Maguire, the guy was washed. So Holland, he did his best, but Holland can't hang with Garfield acting-wise. But you can do a lot with Tom Holland because he is good. Even if he's not the strongest actor, he is good for this role. But you didn't really use him.
Mark Webb is trash.
That's not a criticism though, because they have like 20 years more with him. That's what we tried to say.
No. But Joe, my thing though is, even if let's say the next 3 films are flipping amazing, these 3 films this is not a good trilogy. So I get what he asked yesterday because of his young, but this trilogy isn't good. It's not a good trilogy.
Yeah, I can see that. It's more like an MCU procedural, like just to fill in the gaps. Like, what was Spider-Man doing all this while before he then went into his trilogy? Like, what was he doing in between?
So it's like
the Avengers
it's like
movies.
a build-up. Yeah, it's pretty much a build-up to, because I think how things are set up. I don't know who said it. It's great now because nobody knows who you are. You're not going into college. You have no one. Basically, you have no family. No Uncle Ben, no Aunt May, no Iron Man. So you're literally by yourself.
Yeah. They had, as well in the film, they had a lot of references to the game as well, I noticed. To the PS4 game.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. They had,
So sorry, let me just hit this, man. So Mega says, will they finally make Wolverine 5'5"? I hope so.
Nah, bro.
No. You see, what is going to be key now is because see, I want to know how the deal works, because my thing is obviously MCU have to now build up to the next Avengers, and my thing was Endgame. I was about to say, how do you survive with no Cap or Iron Man? Those were the 2 foundations of the crew, bro. Eternals. You can't use those clowns. Because they were hoping that Eternals would actually do well, because that was what they wanted to do to the X-Men. But because those things are a wash, now you have to get either X-Men or Fantastic Four, or it's all on Spider-Man's shoulders. But my thing though is, will Sony still allow them to use Spider-Man in the MCU or for the Avengers?
Yes, like they're making money. Literally say they've never
greedy. No, Sony like, wait, we don't need you.
Money, bro. Sony has never sniffed a bill. They've never.
But now, Sony are so greedy and stupid. They may say, wait a minute, he's not super famous.
They
Marvel, get out, go.
They can't be allowed to be that stupid. It's not possible.
Like, but they're splitting the money. They're splitting it. They must be splitting it a certain way.
No, they're not splitting.
So how much they promote their phones in these movies, bro.
Yeah, I think from what I understand of the deal, essentially, like it's about, I think that from Sony get the money from distribution, movie sales, etc. But Disney, it's more regarding toy sales and merchandising and other things.
Yeah.
So Disney profit from what, because the toy sales are mad for this, absolutely mad, and there's tons of money in there itself. Where Sony will make bank from the movies and distribution, etc. And so that's why they're trying to tie in their other movies and stuff like that, because that will obviously generate more.
So what would happen in Civil War? So how much of a cut would Sony take for a Civil War or for an Endgame?
I think Civil War they did, because Civil War was produced and directed by MCU and directors. So they didn't do anything for it. It was just so I think to keep it a stack, Sony agreed for Spider-Man to be used in the MCU, it was the presumption that they would be able to then direct, spearhead Spider-Man No Way Home, etc., and get the difference. So they'd already made that deal before they'd even agreed for Spider-Man to debut in Captain America Civil War anyway. Had they not made the agreement, Spider-Man wouldn't have appeared in it, full stop.
It's like I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yeah, exactly.
So Spider-Man boosts your movie, and then you bring over your boys to boost his own movie where we're doing ours.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing, you know.
Because it'd be too expensive. It'd be too expensive to buy the rights to acquire all of Spider. Well, I mean,
no. Sony will never give. Like, bro,
yeah,
Sony has never given up Spider-Man. Never. Bro, see, even before this, they never do. Now, hell no.
Of course.
Wait, Ibs, talk about Ibs.
Nah, but I was gonna say, like, what did everyone think of like the post-credit scenes, isn't it? Because with Doctor Strange, WandaVision, that one particularly.
Sorry, the second one. No, because the first one was our bomb ass Tom Hardy. The second one.
Yeah, the second one.
Ibs, I'll be real with you. Ibs, hashtag honesty. Honesty,
bro. Honesty.
Keep it real.
I was like, I ain't watching this movie, man.
Same.
No, I'm waiting for it to come on Disney Plus or something.
No, because my thing is, look, multiverse of madness and all this stuff. I'm like, I'll keep it real with you. I can't, man. I generally don't have any interest. I was like, I'm sorry, because see, Eternals was out of curiosity, because my thing now is, basically the next time I clock in is the next Spider-Man or when they now.
I mean, the only thing I would say was that, like, what the main thing I find interesting about, aside from being a comic book fan of Shumagorath, who I've seen the thing, is the fact that at the end of the trailer, when you see that evil Doctor Strange, and I told you about this thing, evil Doctor Strange is from the What If animated series. Yeah. So what I'm excited for is that the whole What If. I know HH didn't watch it, but there were a lot of like funny, interesting characters from that What If series. So if you're now saying that we're in a situation where you're now going to be taking those What If cartoon characters and making live characters versions, then like this has huge implications, and especially regarding Black Panther, because in one of the What If series, it was I think Killmonger was Black Panther, or took over the Black Panther role. So you could easily have a situation where, we're now replacing Black Panther with Killmonger because he's from an alternative universe where he's acts like a particular way. Like, so there are so many more possibilities that they can explore from a character perspective now that they've officially said, well, What If is now a part of the MCU, and here's a live action version of him in the evil Doctor Strange. If that makes sense.
Sorry, okay. See, my thing with MCU is this: look, no. What Kevin Feige has done is pretty cool, because what he's done is, what if we bring the comics idea to film, where I have to read the next issue, and each issue connects with each other one. So there are people who, it's like this girl that I knew, she doesn't watch comic book films, but she watches every MCU movie. And because it's like Pixar, right amount of comedy, right amount of drama, and it's made for the common denominator, you have to watch the next one. So this is like, basically, it's like a TV show that's just never ending. So it's a great money maker. But the issue is, what if you guys like me? I still haven't watched Captain Marvel.
Yo, don't watch that. Don't watch that. You won't like that.
That movie is really good. I liked it.
And do you know why I've not watched Captain Marvel? Is because Winter Soldier is, bro, I told you, that's big time for me. I remember what Nick Fury said about his eye in Winter Soldier. From what I heard about Captain Marvel, in my mind,
the cat,
Nick Fury is still that dude.
Yeah.
So like Nick Fury's eye, Nick Fury is still that dude where his eye got pipped in some kind of crazy war.
Put respect on the cats, man. Put respect.
So my thing is that, let's see, for me, and people say, and the issue is that you have to watch all these movies to understand. I'm sorry, I'm never watching Captain Marvel. I didn't like Doctor Strange.
Did you watch Ultron? Did you watch?
Yeah,
Ultron?
no.
Age of Ultron was garbage, man.
Yeah,
That was
I was
Age
about
of
to say
Ultron
I
was
think that's the worst recent MCU movie from 2015.
That's impossible.
The worst. Yes, Ultron.
Bro,
I
you
think
say
Ultron
Man of
was
Steel
awesome.
is the
Wait,
best
Ultron?
superhero movie,
It
man. Relax,
can't be the
man, relax.
worst.
Hey,
Like
who's
No,
the
Ultron was alright. It was alright. It
Who's
wasn't
yes, it
terrible.
was I.
Wait, hold on. Because so LB, thoughts on No Way Home, since you just commented. So thoughts on No Way Home.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. I think
Wait,
Wait,
looking forward to
Wait. Whoa. You haven't seen it?
You haven't seen LB?
I've never seen
What?
it. No.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
LB, I think you took it wrong. So no, LB, this is a spoiler discussion.
What?
So this has been
Nah, this dude
bro,
hasn't watched the
like,
movie.
This was like
It's a spoiler discussion.
I thought this was like the CL preview.
Yo, we're 2 hours and 15 minutes.
What?
I thought we're talking
think
about
he's on the wrong
it.
channel.
I didn't know that we all
LB,
watched
this is a
it.
spoiler discussion. Like this is full on spoiler. So LB, you should
This
be
is
here.
the preview, bro. This is the
I
post
thought it was
match.
a preview.
Yeah,
Alright.
no,
It was a preview.
This is the post match analysis, bro. Bro.
LB, it's in the title of the video.
He's already done pro at all for the red cards, yellow cards, all given out so forth.
OJ. Bro, but
Wait,
seriously, bro, who does a preview 1 week after the movie comes out? I mean,
Maybe he
No,
doesn't
but you
even
know what I
know there was
wanna-
a movie.
Don't watch the rest of this video. If
Yeah,
you're
no,
gonna spoil
LB,
LB,
get out of here.
I will leave.
Because it would be rude for you. LB, get the hell out of here and just watch the movie. Get the hell out of here.
That post-credit scene, from what I've understood, is this. If you have watched the What If series, you would be interested in it.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen the What If series, it's like, what the hell is this, man? Like, before I saw the Black Doctor Strange, I was actually interested in what they were going to do with like Scarlet Witch and so on in the Multiverse of Madness, because the name is just crazy. Multiverse of Madness. They're like, what goes wrong?
Yeah, but I can't catch up with all these series, man. It's
That's
too
the
much.
point. So I haven't seen it either, and HH hasn't, and I noticed his response was exactly my response. Like what the hell is this, man? I'm not watching this because it just
perfect. And that's my issue with the MCU. You see, so after Mandalorian finished, I stopped my Disney Plus because my idea is I'm going to start it again when Boba Fett, yeah. So my thing is, I only got Disney Plus to watch the Spider-Man TV show, X-Men TV show, and Mandalorian. So I'm going to restart it again and to watch Boba Fett and finish off Spider-Man and so forth. So now if I don't watch what's it called?
Hold on.
So if I don't watch What If, I'm like, so when I was like, okay, yeah, who is this evil? Okay, evil Doctor Strange, yeah, and so what? But because
you guys actually subscribe to. Never mind.
Nope, I didn't, bro. I haven't seen any of the Disney Plus.
No. I'm like, even if you are watching, you actually subscribe. You have to subscribe to watch them.
Yeah, like that's Disney Plus. That's what it's for. Except you have like maybe some other sites where it's uploaded. But it also reminds me.
Let's keep that quiet, man.
I've watched all of them. That's all I can say. Never mind.
The sites I used to use, the government shut them down, man. So I'm trying to look for another one.
Hey, shout me. I got some links, man.
It's
VPN. Trust me.
DM me, man. DM my guy. My DMs are open.
Listen,
DM me.
I was using it yesterday to watch that trash film, man, Matrix.
Oh, bro, don't go in there. Don't go in there.
Oh, I wasted 2 hours. I want my 2 hours of my life back. I want my 2 hours of my life
Bro,
back.
that's another combo. That's another hangout.
That's a whole other combo. So, see, my thing is this. Look, see, this is my hope. Next trilogy, it should be about him against Venom. What's the point of that symbiote remaining behind? That symbiote remaining behind has to be.
You put Venom and Kingpin. So those are the two things I think you like. Yes. Venom is almost like the like the rival / anti that kind of thing, and Kingpin is the overarching.
So you put D'Onofrio, King.
So what about Daredevil then?
No, Daredevil is there.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying in the next film.
What's going to happen is Daredevil. I suspect what's going to happen is, especially because they introduced him, Daredevil is now going to be the new father type figure to Spider-Man.
Yep.
He's going to be the one that's going to mentor him, shepherd him, etc. And then that's how you're going to get Kingpin is going to be involved. And obviously Venom comes in as well, being Peter Parker's arch nemesis.
They need to get that Kingpin from.
No, because my thing is, have a trilogy. Obviously, you throw in a Craven the Hunter, maybe
Nah. It's too big.
No. But my thing is that it should be a thing where the last film is where he fights Venom. So you're building up the Eddie Brock and Peter Parker thing. Where this is where. So in college, does he get the job at the?
I have it mapped out, bro. I drew my trilogy plan. Actually, yeah, I have it. I have them ready to go. Bro. Just say my name.
Does it involve Man of Steel, by the way?
Yeah, actually. I'm just kidding.
I hope not.
No, in the first part, it has to start off with MIT plus Daily Bugle. Like that's his day stuff, and then we're also like simultaneously.
Who's the villain in the first film then?
I don't know. Like you can throw in any guy, like anybody, any street level guy. You can even do like
Kingpin is overarching. Maybe bring in Scorpion or Vulture or one
maybe
Shocker. Maybe because remember he didn't kill Shocker in was it Homecoming? Was it
Shocker's
Homecoming. He wasn't fully developed too. So yeah, like you can throw in one of those kind of guys and you can introduce like Gwen and then slowly build up the relationship, and it can even play up the drama, like him thinking now I've actually abandoned MJ and there's more and more likelihood I'm never going to go back to her. And also then you can introduce Eddie Brock in the first movie. They don't have to even come across each other. He can just be like a failed like MMA fighter that's like having to do something on the side and then starts taking pictures, and maybe he comes across Spider-Man some way and takes a picture, and that makes him blow up. And then the next movie, you have to, maybe even the post-credit scene, that's where the symbiote first gets to Peter or Spider-Man.
Oh yes, it comes to Peter first, yeah. And then,
and then the second movie is where Spider-Man and the symbiote go full on like together. And then he learns to use it, and then it takes over him slowly, and he gives into the dark side. He does a bad thing or two, so on and so forth. You can even make someone like Daredevil fight him in that kind of movie at some point, like because of how
edgy.
And
I would want Daredevil to have his own movie first, though.
Oh yeah, like this will take a while.
The idea is that Daredevil will have his own film before part 2, or rather part 5.
Yeah, something like that. And then somehow he lets go of the symbiote, and that would find its way to Eddie Brock. That could also be the first credit scene of this one. And then the final movie is where they now actually fight with each other. And Eddie Brock goes on full-on Venom.
My dream has always been because Venom is my number one villain. It's always been my number one villain. Is just a proper fight in a movie between Spider-Man and proper Venom. The issue is Raimi didn't want to do Venom, and that's whose president was it to make Venom a comedian in a movie why?
I actually hate Venom.
Why is Venom in a karaoke doing? No.
But you see, maybe that's their own.
Guys, I'm about to leave now. Can I say just like one last thing? Yeah, it isn't about Spider-Man and everything, but like, I hope everybody stays safe with this virus and everything. And there's also an anime, Attack on Titan. Please, if you can be available on the January live, watch it. It's money. It's money.
It makes no sense.
AOT is money.
I've seen.
No, I know you. I know.
An explanation of what happened in that thing. That thing makes zero sense. But I'll
Levi is your guy. He's gonna do crazy shit, bro. Levi is your guy, so I suggest you just watch it.
I'll give it a watch. I'll give it a watch.
All right, guys, take care, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
No, look, see, my thing is, look, man.
Yeah, I gotta go too, man. Peace, man.
Got one of these.
Take care, bro.
It's look, man. It's just to run this thing off, man. Is look. My thing is, I think it was an enjoyable thing. It was cool, but my issue is, you know what? Going back to what Marvel said, this was a lifesaver. What if they did? Okay, perfect example. Oh my god! You know what? This is not going to be okay. That's real. What if Sony and Marvel didn't do this deal? So let's say there was no Spider-Man in Civil War. So let's say they never did this deal, and Phase 4 went like this. You know, MCU would be screwed. So imagine if you had WandaVision, Loki thingy didn't really hit. Eternals was a flop. Shang-Chi was mid, and you don't have Spider-Man. Bro,
it won't flop. Like
they would have to literally they would have to have paid more money for what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. to stay.
Yeah,
the
reason they wrapped things up like that was because they already saw what the potential they had with Spider-Man and the newcomers, and but if they didn't have that, bro, like Downey is saving the world till he dies, bro. Like in real world, not in the movie universe. Like he's literally going to be the Iron Man forever and ever.
Wait, who? Oh, you mean Iron Man or Spider-Man?
Robert Downey is going to be saving the universe forever.
No, like it shows you how cheap it is. Basically, when they brought back Agent Coulter from Avengers, I was like, okay, you guys are clowns.
Coulson.
Coulson. I was like, you guys are clowns. Like that was a big moment in Avengers, and you brought him back. Because like Downey Jr.'s career ends happening. So Downey Jr. look, no one is watching my films. Yo, bring me back. And there's another universe, cloning device, something like what's
Bro, when they do the movie where Iron Man and Cap come back, that's going to be another $2 billion.
Oh yeah, no. Like,
God.
If they do that, you're stupid.
Bro, it will happen.
Stupid, but it's it's happening.
It's happening.
Because you know what? This is why multiverse is a cheat code. If you have a multiverse, you can just go to a universe and get Iron Man or Cap and bring them here. Now, we don't know what kind of version they'd be or how they'd act. But you can just say, we'll just go into this version, bring back Iron Man, who somehow looks exactly like Robert Downey Jr.
No, they're gonna get what's her name? The new Iron. She's a black.
Oh, Riri.
Riri, yeah.
Red Marvel. I don't mean to Red Marvel. I don't mean to Red Marvel. What skin tone does she have?
She's black.
Okay, there you go. Red Marvel. Do you really believe that they're going to accept a black girl called Riri as Iron Man over Robert Downey Jr.? No, see, Red Marvel. This is me. I don't accept Falcon, bro. To me, he's Falcon. That dude isn't Captain America.
That's for you, though.
Call me stealth. That dude is not Captain America.
The majority of the blacks eats this thing up.
Yeah, that's the key. I would suspect that like the new assembling of the Avengers is going to be very Amazing Spider-Man. I thought there were rumors. There are rumors that it was. As the thing that's not talked about, I genuinely do believe that Andrew Garfield is the best actor.
He's the best actor, 100%. Did you see him in the Social Network? He was better than Zuckerberg in that film. He's a quality actor.
He just needs a good. That's the key thing for me with Sony thing. Is like, okay, fine, do it, but the script has to be good. Don't bring him back only for him to, because I did think he was unfairly. Oh, you're awful, you're crap, you're trash, stuff like that. It's like he got a lot of unfair criticism given the amount of material he used to work with. So if you're going to bring him back, going to do it, make sure that you hire a good make sure you make a decent script so you can use it, and then maybe you could get like a decent film from them. Because I'm interested to see how they explore the whole. Because in the movie, what he says is that like when Gwen died, I went down a darker path. I was a bit more brutal.
I did pull my punches and stuff.
Exactly. So I mean, if they do it free, I'd be interested to see how he goes about dealing with villains in a more of a, I won't say Punisher-like, but a more direct, and permanent type of way.
Yeah. But
maybe that's how they do Venom.
It's always
no, but I just wanted to conclude, that I don't know about me or you guys or how you feel, but I'm marveled out. It's been they started in 08 because it's just too many films now. It's just, when you need a break, you just need a break from Marvel films. Like, they're bringing out TV shows, they're bringing out movies every month, they're bringing out so many stuff. Like, they need to slow down a bit sometimes. Just slow down, give it a little break.
The thing was, this is what's supposed to happen, I think. Because what was supposed to happen was Dune was supposed to be proper. That now gives an avenue, and maybe Matrix comes and has a resurgence. But the issue is Matrix flopped, horrible trash. Dune, it was clear, but it didn't really hit. So guys are like, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. So you see, for me personally speaking, I'm just looking at particular things. So I'm looking at X-Men, because I hated all the X-Men films. I'm looking at X-Men. I'm looking at what they're going to do with Venom in this whole thing, and that's about it. So literally, like in MCU, I just wanted to say, okay, what did they now do with Spider-Man, and specifically what did they do with Venom, and how do they do with X-Men?
Yeah,
I want to see Fantastic Four as well.
I still want to see if they can portray Storm in an amazing way, then all is forgiven. Like, but
for me, Wolverine, Storm. It's like if you can do Cyclops and just do that properly, then that's huge. But I think my thing is match.
Yeah.
That's
that.
You see, because that is what can swing things. Because Batman is
that movie's gonna be wild.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna be good. I have a feeling it's gonna be good. Wow.
I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be the best Batman we've had.
That film it can't be bad. Like when you see a trailer, bro, I told you, the moment I saw that Matrix trailer, I knew that thing was garbage.
Yeah, it's garbage.
So when you
I didn't even watch the trailers.
Wait, was it?
I didn't even see the trailers. I just still
it's garbage.
Joe, I did a 1 hour review. I'll post it on here. Joe, I talked for an hour. And I could have talked you think I'm lying? And it's an hour. I talked for an hour.
Watch it tomorrow as well.
Because I talked about the whole of it, bro. Bro.
I felt betrayed, man.
Bro, that's shocking, bro. It's crazy. So my thing is, so sorry. What was I saying? So,
we're talking about the future of the
MCU. So the boy was
MCU films,
with Matrix, and then fuck.
Dune. You said Dune.
Oh yes, Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
So my thing is this: is that's for that trailer, that thing can't be bad. Now, if that thing is good, then Marvel could have a problem. So they'll still make money, but see, what we need variety. Right now, Marvel is the only game in town because Snyder is a moron. Snyder, you made a film with Batman and Superman, and that film is still going to make less money than Spider-Man. Which is so people say, oh well, there's 3 Spider-Man films. Still, you made a film with Batman and Superman and it doesn't make $1 billion, you're mad. So Snyder screwed up DC, completely screwed it up completely. Now with Matt Reeves, see if this Batman film is good, because this Batman film is like, okay, that's a film. See, MCU are theme park rides. Apart from the people, they're theme park rides. That thing is a film. So if that Batman hits, okay.
Yeah.
But as you said, Ibs, I can't watch every TV show, bro.
I can't. I literally can't. So,
like, okay, so I have to watch an episode of this, and I have to do what if after. It's like it's bro. What's your film? Tell me your film. Tell me your story, beginning and end. So I have to watch this, or this, and then this, and that, and I'll connect with that. Because my thing is that, what if I don't like, bro? What if I don't like Captain Marvel? Okay, what if I see the trailer for Captain Marvel and know this thing looks crap, but I have to watch it in order to understand the Infinity War? Say, oh, well, this thing in Infinity War, you'll only understand it if you watch Captain Marvel. Huh?
You know what this reminds me of? The Daredevil moments in the movie. It's similar to the Doctor Strange evil doppelganger at the end of the post-credit scene. If for those people who haven't seen the Netflix shows, that meant nothing. That
but
scene
so to Joe, there's a way that the issue with the MCU is that there's a way that you can do things where like so the best example I think recently is Arcane, for example. Arcane is based on League of Legends. Now there are clearly tons of Easter eggs in Arcane for those who play League of Legends that they'll go, oh, I know this, I know that, etc. But it's not written in a way where you're like, I need to know that to understand the story, to relate with the characters, to get meaning from the thing. That's the problem with the MCU with this whole canon right now, is that they're writing things in a way where you're like, whereas at the start it was like, okay, you don't need to really know, but like if you have a comic book awareness, there's a payoff there. Like it's good, it's fair enough. Now we're getting to the point where like, okay, I'm now losing a significant amount of impact from this show because I haven't watched What If or whatever it is, and that's the big. But that's more of a writing issue, I think, than actually.
You're right.
That's a right.
No. But Marvel, do you know what the key thing is? That it's intentional.
Exactly.
Because what they want is, if you have to watch every film, you maximize your profits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the idea is that, oh no, I've got to, so every episode, I've got to watch it because if I don't watch this, I won't understand this because I'm so into this world. I have to watch everything to understand the full story. So they do it intentionally where, no, you have to watch this and this and this to understand this. So it's and it's a great money making scheme, which is what this whole MC thing is like. It's a money making scheme of like, you have to watch every bloody thing that this guy's put out.
But we need to talk about the flip side though, which is, what if the Batman is garbage?
No way, not happening.
Of course, it's not happening.
If it's garbage,
anything is possible.
I can't even think about that.
I thought there was no chance that Dark Knight would. I didn't believe that Dark Knight would release a film where I can't hear what Batman is saying.
Hey, Shane, we need to do a Brick Academy of movies and TV shows, like Class A, Class B for movies.
No. Bro, we're doing it, and I'll be real with you. Rises is trash. Dark Knight Rises is trash. Dark Knight Rises.
I love Bane. I love Bane.
Yeah, no, Bane was money.
Do you understand Bane though?
Bane's
Like,
tell me you understand exactly what
was Bane saying really,
and especially on that play, bro. So basically, see, Batman. See, for me, if I can't vouch for anyone, bro. I just can't. But if Batman,
they said something. The director Matt Reeves, he's talked about it's going to be like LA Noir. And it's more based on the year one Batman. If you've seen the movie year one.
I've heard this all before. Talk. When I will, bro, Ibs, do you know how much these guys talked about resurrections? Oh, it's a mixture of technology. And I watched that piece of Gothard.
No, I knew from the trailer.
Ibs, they will talk, blah, blah. I'm like, cool.
If they focus on what I would like, at least what I'm sensing from this thing vibe, is that for once there's a Batman where they're actually focusing more on his ability as a detective. So I think that for me is the big thing from this. I'm like, oh, it's not okay, there's action, but it's a prop. Batman's a detective. Like,
no, and also Marvel. Yeah. So what Im said, I was obsessed with Darkness. I was super obsessed. Leading up to it, Nolan said, oh no, he's going to be a detective. He's going to be a detective. Oh yeah, he's going to be a detective.
Yeah.
He was a detective for one scene.
Exactly.
That made no sense.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so you shot a bullet into a plank of wood, then you took the bullet out. I was like, what? So yeah, like basically, we've never had a Batman where, okay, this guy is really a detective, and we've never had a Riddler that's real. That's real and grounded and dark and so forth. And also,
Joe Schumacher.
The fighting in Nolan's films was atrocious.
That was awful.
Yeah.
Awful. And the main thing I'm looking forward to this, because my issue with this Batman thing is the costume is trash. I'm sorry. See, I can't work with that, bro. Like that costume is trash. But I'm looking forward to at least he can fight.
No, but it's year one Batman. Like it's year one.
Wait, sorry. JJ Gassi, top it. JJ Gassi.
I was just about to say, wait, you think this costume is trash?
JJ Gassi, man, I'll be real with you. What's up with the collar? What's up with the cowl? Why are there so many dimensions on his suits? I get it. It's year 2, so he's still developing.
He's still learning. Yeah, he's still learning as well.
I just think on a visual level, it doesn't. Like, see, in some scenes, if the lighting is right and from a cool angle, it looks good. But if the angle is bad, it looks bad.
This is exactly.
Man, okay.
Like, you literally ripped the thoughts out of my mind. Like, till now, do you know what I've been thinking? The rationale I've been making. For sure, the fact that he picked a guy that's so slender, like the stature of this dude, and the costume looks like garbage. The Batmobile even looks worse.
No,
Batmobile's fire.
It's not a Batmobile, bro. It's a car you can buy from the road.
With nitrous oxide, bro.
No. But see,
the rationale is for the fact that all these things are mediocre, then for sure there's something they saw in the acting of the dude, and the movie has to be good.
No, Robert Pattinson is a good actor. Let's be real. He is the guy. Forget about all that vampire stuff. The guy is a good actor. But my thing though is, you see, look, I'll be real with you. Even if I've got issues with the costume and so forth, I'm not sure what the story is going to be. Visually, the film looks crazy on a visual level. Like that scene when he's fighting these guys in like an underground, and you can just see like the gunfire and so forth. I'm like, bro, like this thing looks just on a visual level. And remember, this is the guy that did the 2 Planets of the Apes movies.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of those films, but visually those films were crazy. Like the cinematography on those films are like, this thing. And he did Cloverfield, which was amazing. Cloverfield was amazing. So my thing is, because I'll be real with you, like, there's not been a quality Batman film since Batman Returns. For me, well, no, Begins.
Begins, yeah.
Begins was nice. If he issues, but Begins was good. So the last quality Batman film was Begins. Dark Knight Rises, trash. So for this right now, I'm just hoping that make it a real hardcore story.
You know what would be perfect? If you took Ben Affleck's look, the look of Ben Affleck's costume, the Batmobile, and put like the acting of this dude and the directing of Matt Reeves.
No, bro. See, without entering into, look, guys, I know it's, but look, who cares? It's Hangout. I don't give a damn. Look, Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve. It is what it is. So I don't give a damn.
Are we talking about Batman now?
Yes.
Quickly, like end the stream and start another one.
Good timing. So my thing is this. Batman from the comics is Clooney. If you look at the comics, visually, it's George Clooney. George Clooney is literally the Batman from the comics. The best Batman has always been Keaton. You see, Bale had the potential to be. He had the potential. Because in Batman Begins, like, oh, bro, okay. And that ending with Batman and Gordon, you know, that's one of the best endings to a film I've ever seen. Because I'm like, man, the way they set it up, like,
with the calling card.
Like when he turns over that Joker card, I was like, God damn, bro. In the cinema, I was like, God damn, look at the card looks like. And the sick thing, this the sick thing is that's Joker card, that's the Joker we got in Dark Knight. But the issue was they turned Batman into a freaking bomb.
Nah, you see,
Jack Nicholson
didn't know how to, cause what's his name? The director, what's his name? Nolan. Isn't a comic book fan. He doesn't know how to make, like, Batman isn't Batman. To be honest, he's a dude that dresses up like that's not Batman. To be honest, if that's why I understand what you're saying. It's just I was a kid then, so that movie means so much to me. So yeah.
Joe, you want to be real? Joe, let's get real. Let's go. It's 1 a.m. here, so we can get real. Like, bro, it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve.
Bro, it's 3 a.m. here.
Let's get real. Let's get real. Joe, do you know that this dude was Batman for maybe 2 years? No. Joe, let me land. This dude was Batman for maybe 2 years. Then he nukes himself. No, you nuked yourself. Oh, even if you ejected that whole thing, bro, the whole screen was white. Bro, in the cinema, my entire cinema was white. Seriously, we all turned into white. We all turned into call. It was that white. So my thing is, how the hell did you survive that nuke? So you so didn't want to be Batman. You're such a coward. You're such a loser. You were Batman for 2 years, and you wanted to now chill out with Selena Kyle in a restaurant. That's a trash Batman. And that trilogy was a piece of
To be honest, at the beginning of what's it called, Rises, it's alluded that he was on a sabbatical for like a couple years already, so he was out of commission basically.
No, Joe. For how many years was that clown active as Batman? How many years was he active as Batman? Maybe 2 years.
Are we counting the training with the League of the Shadows?
No, we're not. We're not. No, because my thing is that Batman Returns. Do you know the best thing in that film? The opening thing. Because that opening said, "Bro, I'm Batman forever."
Wait. What happens in the opening? Like the birth of the
is
Penguin?
happening, and then they get the signal, and literally he's like this. He's just sitting down in darkness like this. So literally, he's waiting for them to call him because it's better to freaking do. So literally, because the whole point is Bruce Wayne is a man. Bruce Wayne is waiting to be Batman. He hates being Bruce Wayne. But the issue with the Nolan films was that Bruce Wayne, he basically the Nolan films were saying, I'm always trying to become Bruce Wayne. No, Bruce Wayne is trash. No one cares about Bruce Wayne. Okay, we're here for Batman. We're not here for freaking Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is in the way of us trying to get to freaking Batman. So, but here's the thing. Quickly back to MCU. Guys, X-Men is key. X-Men is key.
Have they cast yet?
For a while though.
No. Have they cast yet for X-Men?
No, they haven't cast. But see, my thing is that has to be the next thing. Because my thing is, I'm begging you, please, make Wolverine 5'5".
I'm hearing it's Hugh Jackman again, man.
Yeah, so please.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, Albie, go for it.
Just on Batman. Like, what are your thoughts on the 1990s Batman, like Batman Forever? The one with Jim Carrey.
So first of all, LB, we will not mention Batman and Robin, so we'll keep that on the deal.
It's freezing in here.
Time to break the ice. So my thing is freeze was good. I didn't say what's up. So see, my thing is you should look at some of the deleted scenes of Batman Forever. Because Joel Schumacher is a good director. Bro, watch Lost Boys. Watch Falling Down. Watch Phone Booth. He's a good director. So the issue was the studio. Batman Returns was like a horror movie. I love Batman Returns. Yeah. But Tim Burton made a horror movie. Bro, Penguin was literally disgusting. So what are we like, bro? Wait, you guys are laughing. Bro, the guy had black blood.
Shout out to Penguin, man. Shout out to he's trying to live.
So basically, what are we like? Tim Burton, are you sick? And so
Catwoman was a dominatrix, wasn't she, in that movie?
Yeah.
She was...
And do you know what's funny? Every single time I walk into my apartment, man, I always say, "Honey, I'm home." I forgot, I'm not married. Like, because that's what she always says, like in the Batman Returns film. No, but Batman Forever. So the issue with Batman Forever is the studios wanted to now lighten it up after the darkness of Batman Returns. So it was a bit of a hybrid because you see some really quality scenes. If you go onto YouTube, there's a deleted scene where he goes and he finds like something that his parents did, and there's an actual bat that he basically sees like in a kind of a nightmare that he has. So there's some interesting elements to it. I think Jim Carrey's voice as a Riddler, but then there's some weird campy elements. So it was a bit of a weird hybrid. Then Batman and Robin just went off the freaking rails. It just went off the rails, man. So you see, I'll be real with you. You see, Snyder. The only thing I could give Snyder and Ben Affleck, that suit is great. I don't like a gray though. But in terms of the dimensions of the suit, see, this is my issue with the suits in this new movie. It's just about structure and dimensions. When you just look at the cowl and just what it looks like, that Ben Affleck suit is amazing. Ben Affleck is a garbage actor, and the films are crap. That's the issue. But the thing though is that Snyder literally just, because I think it was Jim Lee who did the comic Batman Hush. So he literally just copied Batman Hush and just did that.
It's a mixture of Batman Hush and the one where what's it called?
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark
Knight Returns.
Yeah,
it's from Dark Knight Returns. You know, Dark Knight Returns when he's a bit older.
Yeah,
it's the same suit, same one.
So Elvin was saying it.
Who knows what song or what movie this song's from?
Oh yeah, forever, but forever. Yo. Don't get me. YouTube are gonna claim me, man. Sure, YouTube are gonna claim me. Don't play any music, man. But yeah, that's from forever, like thingy. But like, look, see, let me tell you right now. If Marvel don't get X-Men right, they're screwed. Because Eternals was a bomb. Guys, Eternals was trash. let's keep it a stack. That film was trash. And the acting was all and so forth, but bro, that thing was boring as heck. Like
it was almost as trash as Batman vs Superman. That was trash.
You know,
remember that?
I almost bought a ticket to view this in Nigeria.
No. Elvin, let me no. BVS is more trash. Eternals is more boring. See, BVS isn't boring. It's just a horrible film. Eternal, it's bad, but the key to my tells it is incredibly boring. So that's what it is. Yeah, no, BVS. Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting trash, but it's exciting, but it's trash. So
yeah.
Yeah, no. BVS is that's a horrendous film.
What did you think about? What's your favorite Batmobile? Mine is the BVS one.
1989.
Bro, 89, easily 89. Bro, have you seen what that Batmobile looks like in 89? That thing is, bro. That thing is crazy.
I have a Lego set of that.
Yeah, no. Actually, because I actually wanted to get it because I've got hot toys of Keaton's Batman. But I want to get the hot toy of the Batmobile, but it's like crazy expensive, man. No, bro, that Batmobile is. But I liked what they did with the Tumbler. That was interesting. That was interesting what they did with the Tumbler. But my thing is that if Marvel get X-Men right, that can carry into Avengers.
That's kind of the same as the Fantastic Four. Well, okay, X-Men is bigger than the Fantastic Four, but the Fantastic Four. You know, there is an element there that they could potentially use that and take that forward because no one has got the Fantastic Four right. So at least with X-Men, people have you've seen good X-Men. I can't remember like the Fantastic Four ever being done right ever on my film. I think the Fantastic Four, they have an opportunity, even in TV series, like the anime shows were okay, but they have an opportunity of Fan 4 to be like to actually set a different level. I think that the issue with X-Men is that they have been, whether it's the movies or TV series, there's been good X-Men series at least.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm expecting the movies to at the very least surpass the animated TV series. I'm expecting to at least get a.
But my thing is that how do you think they incorporate X-Men? Do you shove them into someone else's film, or do you make?
I think they're going to go. Sorry, I'll just answer it. But like, I think this is the whole point, the whole multiversal thing that they're sorting out because it's easy. Because recasting everyone, writing new things, stuff like that takes time, takes effort, and I don't think Marvel want to go and do what they did in Phase 1, Phase 2, where they want to ground and establish characters anymore. I think they want to go the quicker route, and the quicker route is saying, right, listen, we can take already established characters from universes, roll them in, and we can roll the characters that we like, i.e. Wolverine, Professor X, maybe Mystique or whatever. And then if we have to recast new individuals, we can recast them in the universe.
No,
that's what they're gonna do.
Wait. Hold on. Efforts. So I'm stuck with Hugh Jackman.
I mean, they might recast him, but they're gonna. I know.
You see, the problem with the reason why you will forever be unhappy, HH, as pertains to the X-Men, is the fact that you're stuck with this Hugh Jackman dude. I'm sorry.
Joe,
do you know why?
Joe,
do you know why?
Joe, this dude is pushing 60.
HH.
Bro, no, Joe. It was, bro, you had a great swan song, which was Logan. It's enough. Get the hell out.
The reason
you're too tall. Freaking giants, man.
See, this movie that just came out, No Way Home, is the reason why they're going to bring him back. The fact that this movie came out changes everything. You understand? You know.
Oh yeah, nostalgia mentions.
That's what Toby is pushing 50, bro.
No. Joe, if they get I think if they get Tobey Maguire to do it, I'm gonna call like because basically that's not bullying. Bro, I think that this guy, they pushed him hard to bro, because my thing was like, because the first guy says that, man, this guy's old. So, like, this guy, he looked old. So my thing is, bro, you can't just force him to be like, hey, Toby, what you say? Toby's like, bro, like, I had to pretty much push myself physically to do this whole thing. So, like, but you know what, guys? I think someone said before, do you think they're going to do this again? All three Spider-Man?
No, I don't think so for now. At least.
No. I don't think. But do you think down the line we're gonna do this whole thing?
Old man,
as long as they keep making
Logan.
Yeah, like Toby by then would be like in a wheelchair or something.
Toby Maguire's like he's actually a really arrogant person.
He's arrogant.
Yeah.
How'd you know?
He had issues in life, but they all do. The idea is like the problem is even if Toby is 70, he will still wear the costume and the mask and come back.
See, that's what you're going to say. So like, if this guy's like 60 or 70, wear the mask, then you have to relax. But guys, look, man, let me go in. So happy Christmas Eve to people. Enjoy your Christmas Eve celebrations and so forth. Do your thing. Enjoy yourselves. And yeah, man. I'm happy that Bomber's trash Tom Hardy piece of crap.
Can I say one thing, AJ?
Jay, Grassy, go for it.
Yeah, one thing. One thing that's unfortunate to me is that my dream casting for the X-Men coming up was having Tom Hardy as Wolverine, and they ruined it with casting him as Venom, and Venom turned out to be trash. Both Venoms. I'm telling you right now, don't watch the second one.
My thing is,
what would you think of Jason Statham? Statham.
Tom Hardy would have been a great Wolverine. He'd have been a great Wolverine. But see, my thing is just like Hugh Jackman, there's someone out there. It's just about really good casting. True. But get someone short and stocky. That's a good actor.
The problem is they keep going for big names. They need to just go for any good actor.
Guys, comic book movies is now the main thing right now. Wolverine is so popular, you don't need a big name.
HH, before we go, can I just ask the panel a quick question?
Yes, sir.
I missed out on this conversation, but when Red Marvel commented on Jamie Foxx's performance in Spider-Man, do you reckon that was underrated?
We actually forgot about this.
I have never, every single time Jamie Foxx was on screen, I was laughing my face off.
Are you serious?
No. You have to understand, Jamie Foxx wasn't acting. Jamie Foxx just appeared on set and was Jamie Foxx.
Exactly. This guy said, "What do you think?"
He had a bit of electricity around him, so he was like, he looked like a plug. but it was still Jamie Foxx, man. Like it wasn't Electro, it was just Jamie Foxx being Jamie Foxx.
You know when he came out
bro,
first and we
at
saw
one
his
point,
skin?
man, at one point, the guy says, "Man, how do you like the new?" I was like,
I couldn't
this guy
handle
was
it.
bringing Ebonics into a Spider-Man movie. I was like,
He was fixated on Spider-Man.
And you know, Jamie Foxx is like ripped in this movie, and I'm like, that's not.
and also he's got a lineup. No, bro, how did you get a lineup?
Yeah, like
How
when
did
did
you
he
get a
go?
lineup
When did he go to the
Jamie
gym?
Foxx looked
When did he
horrible,
go to
man.
the gym?
He got a complete makeover.
Yeah. I'm like, you went from being some sort of weird, bold.
What happened to his teeth? In the new one, his teeth is fixed,
Exactly.
his hair is fixed, everything.
Guys, look for that mouse, man, guys. Peace,
All right.
one love.
Peace. Merry Christmas, guys.